All right, man. What's going on? Facebook, YouTube. Let me make sure. Yeah, am I live on Facebook? I think I'm live on Facebook, man. Let me know if y'all can hear me right. This is my first time recording in probably like over 30 days, since I had to move locations and all that stuff, man. So let me know if y'all can hear me really good. Um as you coming in, go ahead and hit the like button. All right, I'm getting feedback. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm off my game, man. It's been a while since I recorded. I had YouTube playing in the background. So uh let me check the comments, man. Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me. Um and then like I said, hit the like button if y'all coming in. And if y'all haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Man, I do want to have this conversation, man. So I'm gonna talk a little bit, man, but I shared the link in the comment section. Y'all can join in. You can have your camera off and all that stuff, man. Because I want to have this conversation with a lot of people, and I want to hear from people, man. But if you've been living under the rock, you probably don't know what's going on. I want to say like more than a week ago, Kyrie Irving, he shared a tweet and he tweeted a documentary called Hebrews the Negroes. That documentary delves into the history of original Hebrew Israelites, reveals that and their claim is that the original Hebrew Israelite were a people of color, whether they were black or brown, um, and those some of those people turned into what we consider the Negroes over here in America and other parts of Jamaica and other islands. They got dropped off, and all that good stuff, man. So, just a tweet from Kyrie Irving, sharing, that the link to that documentary that's on Amazon, um, got him in a lot of trouble. And I guess a lot of people were saying that it's anti-Semitic, um, claims in the documentary. They're saying that they're quoting Hitler and all these things, and that might be true. I watched it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It drug on so much that I was in and out of paying attention to it. Plus, I was already familiar with the content from other sources and other studies that I done, other research that I done. So, I was paying attention a little bit, but I really wasn't. So I think I may have missed all the intimate anti-Semitic stuff that they might have been talking about. But I think some people, like I said, they was talking about him quoting Hitler, and I think one of the quotes was something that got debunked. I think or this quote was in the magazine years ago, like maybe in the 70s or 80s, and they can't confirm that Hitler ever said that, right? Then it was other parts of the documentary where they may have said that um, the Jewish people who profess to be Jewish now that we know, the European Jews, that I think that, and I didn't see this part in the documentary, but I'm hearing that they said that some of the top level Jews worshiped Satan, and um, so Kyrie had, they wanted him to apologize, and more than apologize, I think they wanted him to denounce the whole film, denounce the maker of the film, say that he don't believe any of it. They really want him to do like 100% backpedal, a complete 180, probably all the way down to the point where he was saying, "I don't even believe none of the black people are Jews. Like I was 100% wrong." And Kyrie don't want to do that. And we seen last year him stand on what he believed in as far as the vax, and said, "Look, I'd rather not play than do something I don't want to do." And the same thing with this, they're trying to push him in another corner. I want you to apologize. Not only apologize, I want you to apologize the way we see fit. We want you to say the same things that we want you to say. We want to hear you're sorry. We want to hear that you don't believe in that film, and all of those things. So kind of how like they did Nick Cannon last year. I mean, it got to the point where Nick Cannon was interviewing Professor Griff, and he was talking about this same exact topic. And Nick Cannon was nodding his head and agreeing with a lot of it, and sharing his thoughts on it and all that stuff. And it got to the point where Nick Cannon, we want you to denounce everything you said. We want you to denounce Professor Griff, the whole idea that the blacks are original Jews. We want you to even denounce Farrakhan. It was just a complete stripping down, and it was quite shocking, right? I say all that to say this: Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, won't be in the NBA next year. He'll be lucky to finish playing the rest of this season. He's in the contract year. This is his last year on his contract. There's no other team owners. I mean, they're all in a collective group. Plus, the commissioner is probably on board with it. It's going to be similar to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf when in the prime of his career, he wouldn't stand up for the national anthem. And then when he did stand after a bunch of back and forth, just like Kyrie Irving right now, when Mahmoud Abdul Rauf finally did stand, he stood facing away from the flag while he was praying. And eventually they got him out of the league, not even 2 years later, and no one would sign him. And he was in prime of his career, man, one of the best point guards in the league. And he was gone. Same thing happened to Marbury. Marbury was a little bit quieter, the way they kind of pushed him out, but he ended up being in China. So it don't matter if you're good. Good players are getting pushed out of the league. It's been done before in the league. Like people will talk about Craig Hodges, but Craig Hodges was one of the best 3-point shooters, but he wasn't one of the best players. He was, I think he started a little bit for the Bulls, but I don't know if he was as good as someone like Kyrie, Mahmoud, or Stephon Marbury. But so they don't mind pushing you out of the league. They're already doing a facelift for the league as it is. You see the guys that they're pushing to the forefront. And I'm gonna tell you what I think is going on in the NBA. I think players like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, these American-born players, especially Black American-born players, they got so powerful in the league, and they were able to push their weight around. And you got LeBron James creating clutch sports, and clutch sports are, just a force in the league, and they're forcing trades, and they're forcing owners to make trades, and they're getting coaches fired, and they're in the news and all this stuff. And it was just too much, and the owners are sick of it, right? The owners are sick of it. And what I think they're doing in the NBA right now is trying to do a facelift, and that's why you see everyone saying Giannis is the greatest player in the league. He's a foreign-born player who don't bring the extra baggage that LeBron, Kyrie, or KD brings. Luka, they're saying, oh, he's the greatest thing since Michael Jordan. He's a foreign-born player who don't bring all that baggage. And Nikola Jokic as well, foreign-born player, don't bring all that baggage. Those three guys are the guys that's going to be carrying the league. And when they do this new collective bargaining agreement, they're going to make it more it's going to make the league a little bit more uncomfortable for people like Kevin Durant. LeBron James, it don't matter. He at the end of his career anyway, but LeBron James, definitely Kyrie Irving, right? And players like that. And I'm telling you, the MVPs of the league and the players is going to be winning the big ball games and getting pushed out in the front and getting all the praise is going to be the foreign-born players. I can see that coming, right? So that's one thing. But back to Kyrie. It appears that they are still pissed off at Kyrie about the vaccination stance last year. And the funny thing is, hindsight being 2020, we're looking at this now, and New York has come out with a statement saying that they were wrong. They're allowing all the people that lost their jobs last year to come back to work. They're getting compensation and back pay for all the time they missed. They're finding out that what they was reporting early on, that you're not going to catch the COVID if you get the vax. They're finding out that was false. All of these things are making Kyrie Irving look like he was right all last year, but he got all this negative energy last year from the NBA, and in turn the fans turned on him as well, right? Well, most of them did, not all of them. The ones with common sense didn't, right? So they still feel like, especially Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn is pissed right? Like I think they would have let bygones be bygones if they was able to make some noise in the playoffs last year. But they went through all that trouble, lost James Harden in the mix and all that stuff, and all that negative press, and Kevin Durant got hurt because he was trying to carry the load by himself. All this stuff was going on, and then they get in the first round and they wasn't able to perform well, right? And I think that pissed off Sean Marks, Joe Tsai, and probably Steve Nash too. And it was reevaluating everything. Like, man, like we blame Kyrie for this, so they're already mad at Kyrie. That's what happened all years and all that stuff. Even though they're the one who suspended him, they could have had him for half the games last year, but they suspended him thinking that was going to force him to get the vax. Right? So they suspended him. Now they mad at him and blaming him for the failures. And they're saying, look, man, I don't want to give him a full max contract. And this was led on by Stephen A. Smith, who is crazy. I did a video on this. I said, if it really sounds like that Stephen A. Smith is talking to Deshaun Marks and giving him advice on how to handle Kyrie Irving, right? And I couldn't prove that. I couldn't prove it. It's just based on what Stephen A. Smith would say on the airways, and how much vitriol and how much venom was in his words when he was talking about Kyrie, and how he was so adamant that Kyrie doesn't deserve a long-term contract. And I was like, man, is someone paying him to say this, or what's going on? And then for everything that he said should happen to Kyrie this summer, Sean Marks did it. And I was like, I want to know if they got a relationship. And then I heard Stephen A. Probably maybe a month ago talk about he talks to Sean Marks very often. He slipped up and said that while talking about a different topic. And I was like, so what I was thinking last year that he is talking to Sean Marks is true, because he just admitted that he talks to him very often. So I really think that Stephen A., it was like a you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I think Stephen A.'s job for the Brooklyn Nets is to lower Kyrie Irving's value so low by how he influenced everybody with what he was saying, because if you say something enough, even if it's a lie, it becomes believable. And Stephen A. would go on there at least twice a week and talk about how undeserving of a long-term contract Kyrie Irving was. And he just constantly did it all season. And people started to believe it. So when Sean Marks came out and was like, we're not offering you a contract, instead of a lot of people in the sports world, whether it be the professionals that that have platforms, or whether it be fans, they just got regular Twitter accounts or whatever, they all was on the side of Stephen A. Smith in the Nets. And I was like, why wouldn't you give Kyrie a max contract? I don't understand it. So that pinball, or the domino effect of them not giving Kyrie a max contract, was Kevin Durant being frustrated and mad about that. And that's why Kevin Durant requested the trade. It was all about Kyrie not getting his max extension. That's why he requested the trade. Look, hey man, y'all lied to me, man. I came here with the impression that me and Kyrie was gonna lock up and be locked up and play 4 or 5 years together and go on a run. Right? I was already not in agreement with you suspending him last year, but I went with the team. I've been a team player, and I was like, okay, if that's what management want, ownership want, I don't have no choice but to honor it. Right? So he didn't make a fuss about that. Hey man, me and James Harden try to figure it out. Y'all want to suspend him? Cool, we'll try to figure it out. Right? But when it came time, when they said, look, man, we're not gonna give him no max contract, Kevin Durant was like, wait, hold on, man. Like I got to say something at some point. So that's what that was all about. They blamed him for last year, and their Brooklyn Nets are still mad at Kyrie Irving for that, especially what happened all this summer with him saying, I'm going to go to LA, trade me. KD saying trade me, and they had to try to figure all that out. And then KD saying, hey, you got to fire Sean Marks or Steve Nash, because the way KD looked at it is Steve Nash and Sean Marks are the ones who got together and met and was like, let's go tell the owner we're done with Kyrie. Let's move on from him. And that's why he was like, man, you can't fix this after you done went behind my back and said you go get rid of the guy I wanted to play with. Right? You can't fix that. Like y'all idea, it was y'all idea to suspend him last year. and it was y'all idea not to offer him a max contract, and I was supposed to be cool with that, So that's what that was all about. So I'm being long winded, but I'm gonna bring this around. So mad at him for last year with the vax, mad at him for this summer, and it's not just the Brooklyn Nets that was mad. The whole sports world was against Kyrie for that. So everyone's still not saying anything positive about him. And of course the NBA was as well, because you got Adam Silver. Like, look, man, we trying to run a business here, and you was in the way last year, and then the year before that, or was it the year before that when it was the bubble, or the year before that, 2019, 2020, when it was the bubble, you came out publicly and said this is a perfect opportunity for us as players to leave the NBA and start our own league. So that was really strike one when he said, let's start our own league. And the way Kyrie Irving thinks is, if I give the analogy of the plantation during slavery, and you got people that work in the field on the plantation who had it hard, and then you have people that work in the house who had it a little bit easier as slaves. The ones that work in the house don't normally condone running away, because they don't have it that bad. They don't get whipped as long as they obey and they play by the rules, right? Those are privileged people. Well, Kyrie is a unique type of privileged person, because he's in the house, because he's privileged, because he has a super talent to make him money. However, every single time someone that's on the plantation is ready to run away, or they set a house fire, and saying this is a good time to escape, Kyrie Irving is the type of dude that's like, okay, I see an opportunity. I'm out of here. So even though he has it good, anytime the house is set on fire, either he's looking for more wood to throw on the fire, or he's looking for a path to get up out of there. And that's why when the George Floyd thing happened, that was the fire set to Master's house, or Master's organization, being the NBA. It was on fire. And Kyrie was like, this is the perfect time for us to break loose, because we in the league, yes, they're paying us a lot of money, but we're in a league where we can't say things that are for the benefit of us as black people, right? And if we do, and we say the wrong thing, we can get punished for it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Or we got to get permission from them to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, the whole George Floyd thing was, let's not go play basketball in the bubble. It's not time for that. It's not time for that. This is a serious matter right here that we need to be fighting for something else. But everybody else mindset was, hey man, we ball players, man. Let's just go hoop. Let's just go hoop. Right. And then you got people like Stephen A. Smith and Mike Wilbon in the ESPN world saying we need to go back to playing basketball, and this ain't the time to be an activist. You can chew gum. If you can walk and chew gum at the same time, you could protest and play ball at the same time. Like, they were saying stupid stuff like that. And the NBA was like, well, how about this? How about you come in and play in the bubble? Let's make this money. And then y'all just put on t-shirts, that advocate for social justice. You get what I'm saying? Like, that stuff never does anything. Right. So I like the fact that Kyrie, whenever he sees that house on fire, he's ready to leave the plantation. Every opportunity he see, all right, let's leave. Let's go start our own league. And everybody don't think like that. So that was strike one for him. I want to leave. He publicly said, I want to leave and start my own league. Then he goes against the grain and said, I'm not getting the vax. And then he comes out, and I think if he would have played without any incident, he probably would have got his long-term contract, maybe with Brooklyn or maybe with another team. Who knows? But now I think this is straight three for him. He comes out and he says something that they think, well, he didn't say anything. He tweeted a movie link, and somewhere in that documentary, there's something that Jewish people don't agree with, which is fine. I think every documentary has something in there that you don't agree with, whether it's history or a documentary about, take, for example, The Last Dance with the Bulls and Michael Jordan. Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen was pissed off at Jordan for that documentary. They was offended. I'm pretty sure everybody in Scottie Pippen's family probably was offended if he was offended, right? So you're not going to find a documentary that you're going to watch and be like, I agree with 100% everything they said in there, right? So when you have a history documentary, the only thing I could ask for a history documentary to do is, if you're going to make a claim, give me a source where you documented that claim so I can go research it for myself. It takes a idiot to watch a documentary and say, I believe everything they just said without doing their own research. The only thing a documentary is a person or a group of people who did their own independent research, or hopefully extensive research, and they can document everything they read or everybody they interviewed or talked to, and put whoever they talked to or whatever source they read it from, whether it was a book or a magazine or a website, whatever it was, just put the site there so other people can go research it. And he did that in this documentary. He even the quotes that they said was anti-Semitic, or quotes that he said was from Hitler, he put, okay, this is where I got this quote from. And the Hitler quote that they said was can't be proven that he actually said it. In the footnotes, he had it in there where he said, this is alleged, pretty much. He didn't lie in there. He made a claim and he said, this is where I got the information from. And that's all you can ask for when somebody's doing a history documentary. Now, if they do a history documentary on ancient Egypt, I think the History Channel got a series they used to do called Ancient Aliens, right? And they'll talk about, aliens this, alien that. And I think I seen one episode where they accredited the pyramids in Egypt to aliens, right? They would rather give credit to aliens for the Egyptian pyramids than black people. Now, can I come out and be like, that's anti-black for you to say? I mean, my feelings are hurt. I'm hurt by you depicting or saying that ancient aliens built the pyramid and not the black people that was actually living in Egypt. Like, can I come out and say that's anti-black and force them to take it down, or force whoever shared it on their Twitter to come out and apologize to the whole black community? I don't think we can, right? When I sit down and watch a movie, whether it's Gods of Egypt, and I'm looking at it and they got a Brad Pitt looking dude playing the Pharaoh of Egypt when we know he was a black man, can I come out and be like, that's anti-black? I don't think so, man. Let me hey, Solar Power African Vegan, man, thank you for that super chat. Send the support and love to your channel, brother. Keep up the great content. I appreciate it, brother. Making solid points. I really hope. What's up, brother? Brooklyn Nets is a disaster. Yeah, they are a disaster, and they're not gonna be able to win anything because, look, man, Kyrie Irving just got too many enemies. Kyrie Irving, on top of them not playing good basketball right now, and on top of them needing a third, that team was built once they traded all those pieces, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and all those guys. Once they traded all those pieces for James Harden, that team, because it's 2 or 3 ways you can construct a team, right? If you take the example of the Golden State Warriors, before they got Kevin Durant, when it was just Draymond, Steph, and Clay as the core, and then you got these role players that was great like Iguodala, but they had a lot of great role players. Iguodala, JaVale McGee. No, did they have JaVale McGee? Was it Iguodala? No, it was Iguodala, Andrew Bogut, Evestis Aziles, Harrison Barnes, and they had a couple of guards that was kind of young, and I can't remember their name, but they was pretty good. Sean Livingston was one of them as well. So they had a good team first 5, and they had a good second 5, right? And so you can build it that way. Now, when they went and signed Kevin Durant, now you're looking at a big 3, and when you got a big 3, you don't have enough money to go around to build your roster that way. So your big 3 really has to do a lot of heavy lifting. And when you got Steph and KD as part of your big three, and then you got Clay that was healthy. You can do that, right? And then when they got rid of Kevin Durant, what they do? They went right back to having Clay and Steph or Clay and Poole, right? Surrounded around a lot of great role players, Gary Payton Jr., Iguodala again, um, Andrew Wiggins, um, um, so many different people, man. Moody, all these, the young boy Wiseman. You just had a whole buttload. So it's two ways to do it, right? Have a deep squad like Boston has that, or have a big three that can do heavy lifting. Well, Brooklyn Nets, once they traded away all that death for James Harden, they were built to be carried by a big three. And then James Harden acts out, and they got Ben Simmons in return, Steph Curry, Andre Drummond, which was the formula of having a stacked supporting cast. But the only thing is Steve Nash wouldn't play Andre Drummond, and then Ben Simmons couldn't play at all. So they got rid of their big three, but they tried to go back to having a deep squad, but they didn't because Ben Simmons couldn't play. Now Ben Simmons is healthy, and they lost all that depth. Blake Griffin gone, Drummond gone, and they trying to work in new pieces. So this is the team that need to be carried by a big three again, but they never had their big three there. And Ben Simmons can't be the third guy because he can't score right now because he's fresh off of a back surgery, and I don't think he can jump over a phone book right now. I knew Ben Simmons wasn't going to be very helpful in the first preseason game where he got a breakaway steal, and I'm thinking I'm about to see Ben Simmons jump out of the gym and dunk it, and he barely jumped. I think he probably jumped 15 inches and just got a little flush dunk. So his back ain't ready. If you remember when Dwight Howard left Orlando and went to LA, he had back surgery that summer. He wasn't supposed to play, but he came back off that back surgery a little bit too early, and he wasn't ready. He couldn't help Kobe. You know what I mean? So, and then like you when you had that type of back surgery, you really supposed to take a whole year off. If you look at what Michael Porter Jr. did at Missouri, he had his surgery. He sat out the whole year. Then he sat out the whole summer before the draft, and then he sat out a little bit of time before he came back. As a matter of fact, I want to say he sat out his rookie season too, right? So, and then he came back and worked his way back in and played, and then he had another back surgery last year, and he missed the whole season last year. So you're not supposed to have those type of back surgeries and come straight back. You're not. So Ben Simmons is really not ready. So that's the whole thing with that. NBA changed the rules because Warriors spent too much money to win. Hey, let me share this link, man. Because I need to get y'all in here so I can hear y'all. So the link is right there. Y'all can join and come in here. Like I said, y'all don't have to turn your camera on, man. Y'all can just come in with your voice. I want to hear what y'all think about this Kyrie Irving thing, man, because this thing is getting ridiculous because the dude did nothing wrong but tweet something right. But they done had it out for him for a while. Nash and Harden out and Irving out. Better get Joe back soon. Yeah, Harden is out as well. Should have never left New Jersey. That would never be good for that reason alone. I got you. Nets hoes crying shame. Yeah. Nets they're cooked, man. They're cooked. And even if Kyrie never tweeted that movie and didn't have all this heat coming his way, the Knicks wasn't playing good basketball, and like I said, Ben wasn't healthy. And I think the thing is really hey, click the link I just shared. That should be the StreamYard link. Let me make sure that's the right link. I'm about to yeah, that's nope, that might not even be the right link. My bad. Here's the link. All right, so I just put the StreamYard link in the click on that link and follow the instruction, and y'all can join in. But I think the biggest issue facing the Nets is the league don't like them, and you need the league to like you for you to for you to get by. Because if the league don't like, like I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but what happened with Kevin Durant in the playoffs in the first round against Boston was was a was a great job by the referees on making it hard for him. Like that, that's all I could attribute it to. I mean, he looked horrible, and it wasn't pressure. The dude been in the league 15, 16 years. It was the or PJ Tucker did when he was with Milwaukee, or or anybody else Kevin Durant played him very physical. I mean, he dropped 50 on PJ Tucker with that same defense. The only difference was the referees decided, hey man, a foul ain't a foul no more. Do with him whatever you like. Right. So and I think they did that because, hey man, look, you're not about to come here and go against the whole league. Speaking of Kyrie Irving with this vaccination thing, and then we go let you just come back and y'all just go slide through the playoffs. Nah, we're not gonna let you do that. Like we got like people that own things and own businesses or franchises. What they like more than money? Well, they probably like nothing more than money. I think they like money a lot. But the second thing right under the money is control. There's no businessman that owns a business, runs a business, who don't want to also control it. And if you really think the NBA as a business is just putting a team out there on the floor on live television and we don't have no control over the outcome, whatever entertainment y'all want, y'all get. No. They have some ways of controlling what happens on the floor and outcomes. Like you don't think they can get a head official. You don't even got to get all the referees in there. Just get a head official in there that you trust. You got to keep it small because if you get all the referees in the know, then it means it's just more people to leak the information. So you get one and two head officials that you trust, and that's why you have to have like a high grade to even get a playoff game, and then you got to have an even higher grade to get a finals game, right? So those officials that they heavily vetted. These are only ones that we trust. Those are the ones you had the meetings with and say, look, I want y'all to call the game this way. Okay, he might know why you want him to call it that way, but all he got to do is have a meeting with his referees before the game and say, hey, look, we looking for that, or we looking for that, or we letting that go, because they do film study. Referees, they do film study. They get in there, they watch the game and be like, okay, this is what we were seeing last game, and they do film study. Watch out for that. We go call it this time. Boom, boom. So if you making those type of decisions pre-game, and doing that type of thing, that means to tell me, by calling the game a certain way, you're gonna favor a certain team, right? So if I mean, come on, man, it's really common sense, man. Corey, what up?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Ain't nothing, man. You got that collar shirt on like that, all buttoned up at the top. Hold on, let me get
For
to these
real.
comments, man. Burnett Irving getting shafted. Media is corrupt. I agree 100%, man. Solar Power, you go join? Did you see the link, big dog? I really gotta hear. I really gotta hear what you gotta say. Nets had high expectations. Yeah, they did. Jazz had that problem, and then um, Trader Ainge traded the whole team. Spotty in Cleveland, they're crazy. Yeah. Nets need to reset like the Jazz. The hell is that on your chin? What's on my chin? Hey man, come on, man. That's that's my Halloween costume. I went as a civilian. Now everyone looking. Hold on. Ref bought off is what you saying. Knew the game was red. I'm not saying the refs are bought off. I'm saying that the referees get direction on how they're going to call games, and I don't think they do it every single game, right?
They
But I
definitely do it in big games.
They definitely doing in big games because more than anything, NFL and NBA they're trying to deliver an entertaining product to the audience. Number one, right, and number two, they also like part of that league is legacy. But I mean, because we look how much and how long we can talk about Tom Brady being the GOAT with all the stuff he don't want. Right? You get what I'm saying? So um if we can talk about Tom Brady for another 20, 30 years, they go protect that. Like that's a storyline that we can have a conversation on for years to come. And that's what it's all about when in the sports world. Like you gotta create narratives and storylines because that get everyone talking, that keeps the conversation going. Like we always talking about sports. We always go tune in to ESPN. Like all this stuff, all is connected and go together, man. Like that's the reason why we got a great quarterback like Peyton Manning who only got one ring while he was in. And that was like, man, like how can we continue to call this dude great with one ring?
He
So
got
his
he had
last
to get
no
him another.
his last year, yeah, his last year, that was like, man, we got to help this dude.
I don't know if you
And
remember. I don't know if you remember, but he actually got benched in at the end of that season for Paxton Lynch.
yeah, he did, he
Yep.
did, and
So
Paxton Lynch wasn't playing bad.
yeah.
He wasn't playing bad because if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have got to the playoffs.
Yep. He got into the playoffs, and then they
Yeah,
used Peyton Manning and some good hometown refereeing to get him into the and but to win a championship. Because that Super Bowl was probably the ugliest Super Bowl I've ever. Well, other than that Chicago, Indianapolis one that he won his first one in, he played in the two ugliest Super Bowls in the modern era of football.
yeah, he did. One he got embarrassed in, and one they had to take the daggone Super Bowl away from an undefeated Carolina Panthers team and Cam Newton.
Yeah,
Be
man.
like, hey man, hey bro, hey, this ain't your year, big dog, man. I mean, you got the MVP, but we can't let you get this ring.
No, they weren't gonna let him get it.
Nah, not at all, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Tim Donaghy already said that the league hosts meetings before each playoff game, and they essentially say what they're looking for, and it's almost always in favor of the team that's down in the series. Yep, he said it at 100, but he did say that. He did say that. What's up, Chris? Hey, Chris, the link on there, man. Where you at? Now this refs paid told how to ref, so they bought off. Yeah, but they already getting paid though. Brent, they already getting paid, so they're just doing their job. That's what Tim Donaghy was saying in all his interviews in his book. He was like, I was just doing my job. Like it would like the reason why he really didn't like get like a lot of prison time because he was saying, look, I was doing what my bosses told me to do. I was doing my job. Right? We called the game the way they wanted us to call it. And if they came down and told us to call it a certain way, we'll call it that way. Call it loose. And you ever seen in the playoff series, you 7 game playoff NBA playoff series, you see them call the game really tight one game, and then the very next game they call it loose. Like how the same refs in the same series flip flopping, calling the game loose or tight. Don't make no sense. Like who's making that decision to do that? Right? If 2 days ago one thing was a foul when I saw it, and then 2 days later, that same thing is not a foul. That's that's pretty weird, man. I'm sick.
Yeah,
And not
it's
podcast. So it's like,
it's and I never really. I mean, I've always noticed it, but I guess it never really dawned on me until we actually started talking about it that the refs almost have to talk about it. You know what I mean before the game and how they're gonna actually officiate the game,
they got
and
to.
it's usually to benefit one team.
Yeah, it's all a show. It's all a show. Even the guys that do the debate shows in the morning. That
Yeah.
debate show come on TV 6 in the morning, but they in there 3 o'clock in the morning talking about what they go talk about. And
Yeah.
how are we doing a live debate and we sitting here fussing back and forth like we debating, but we done talked about this 2 hours before the lights came on.
We talked about how the direction of the debate would go.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm going against LeBron. You know, what I'm saying, okay, well, I'm going for LeBron, and it's like this junk is just crazy, man. But anyway, off topic, man. Kyrie Irving, man, what you think?
I I work the second shift now, so 2 to 10. So I didn't really see anything about it until I started reading the text feed, and then I read it. And um, I I read Adam Silver's his initial response to say that he was promoting the movie.
No, he didn't even say promote. The word that got me the most, what Adam Silver said. He didn't say promote. That's not the word that got me. He said publicize.
Publicize, yes, yes,
That was the word that
publicize.
got me. I was like, wait. It's on a public site called Amazon. It was already publicized. You mean to tell me Kyrie Irving got more people following him than Amazon? He got more
Adam
people than
Silver,
Amazon. That don't
Adam
make sense,
Silver,
man.
Adam Silver got Amazon too. That's the crazy part about it. Everybody
Yeah,
got Amazon.
yeah.
So how, man, Kyrie is probably
He done.
there's two hated men in America right now, and Kyrie is. I'm not gonna say he's the second most. He's probably one B, and that's
Who?
Kanye and Kyrie.
Oh my god, man! It don't make no sense, man. I
Nah,
mean, it don't make no sense, man, because like it's people that are going out there calling Kyrie an idiot. Like think about this: the people who are coming out here in the name of nah, I can't, I couldn't hear you, Spav. Um, yeah, your mic was muted. My bad. Come back, hey, come back in, Spav, and then and make sure your mic is not muted. I thought I saw you mute your mic, but I thought you were just trying to uh wait your turn. So come back in though. But it's funny that the people who are commentating on this situation are saying more hurtful and hateful things to and about Kyrie than anything that Kyrie has said. Kyrie has never said anything hurtful or hateful.
no,
Never.
he hasn't.
Except maybe 2 or 3 years ago when he said everybody in the media was puppets and peons. He said that about 3 years ago.
I
When it
remember
was yeah, when they was talking about him about the Boston stuff. Everybody been on his case ever since he left LeBron. That's when it really started.
that. Right,
He was beloved when he was LeBron, but when he first left LeBron, all the LeBron fans started coming after him hard and heavily scrutinizing everything he did in Boston.
right, right,
And
right.
and he gave them the ammo to keep coming at him. And then ever since then, it's just been like a downward spiral. Man, he ain't been able to do anything right. And so but nah, like they calling him idiots. All this crazy stuff. I'm like, man, and last year it was so bad. Everybody got their a good shot at him and took turns just saying hurtful, hateful things about this dude, man. Just think about that. Anytime you see a lot of people coming at one person, it's never right.
Right. So, well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on, I got breaking news. Let me read this. Kyrie Irving, this is according to Yahoo Sports. Um, Kyrie Irving apologized for posting video with false anti-Semitic statements after the net suspension. Kyrie Irving apologized Thursday for posting a documentary with anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and falsehoods on Twitter a few hours after he was suspended 5 games without pay by the Brooklyn Nets. The apology published on Instagram came a little more than a week after the net star posted the offensive tweet, which has been deleted. Irving conceded the video contained some false anti-Semitic statement narratives and languages that were untrue and offensive to the Jewish race religion. He went on to directly apologize to the Jewish community through the indicated, though he indicated there were some parts of the documentary he still agree with. Of course, right?
That's
And it's a long Instagram. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but it starts out with Kyrie saying, while doing research on Yahweh, I posted a documentary that contains some false anti-Semitic narratives and language. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So um yeah, it's a long statement. Um I mean, which is cool. But I wonder what the narrative gonna be tomorrow when they come in. Hey Spav, what's up, big dog?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you real good, man. What's your thoughts
Hey.
on it?
Oh man. Whew. Where do I begin? As it pertains to Kyrie, man, I mean, we all know the man shouldn't have been suspended for sharing something on his Twitter. Um, we all know that there's an agenda behind it. It's unfair. It's kind of like, what I'm saying? It's against what the United States was built on as it pertains to free speech. I guess the rebuttal to that is that you can have free speech, but not without consequences. But I think that's really dismissing. But Kyrie, he's the type of person that he's got his own opinion and he's going to stand by it. And he's not going to back down. And I don't understand why you need to suspend a person like that. But I mean, it's clear that the only reason why he really got suspended because what he agreed with goes against the quote unquote left agenda. And I don't
Yeah,
really want to make this all political and stuff like that, but hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that.
well, I know.
yeah,
I
I get
mean,
it. I
I,
get it.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and um, I agree with you 100%. Um, it has since the the. Well, let me start by saying this. Like, and me and Mel were kind of talking about this back and forth in messages and phone conversations a couple of days ago. Like, I can I can almost understand the not even the hatred, but the hate that comes with somebody like Kanye, because it's all it to me. It all seems like an act, right? And it's super public, and it's always like he'll throw it in your face, and he gives you a avenue to for negative publicity, right? And but I always felt like with him, and especially like his relationships, everything, I felt like it has always been, any publicity is good publicity. Um, with Kyrie, it has always been super private.
Yeah,
His decision not to get a vaccine, um, his decision to uh comment about a movie or anything, right? And it's never something that's just thrown out in public where I'm gonna call a press conference and we're gonna make this a big, big, big thing. And I want positive and negative feedback, whatever it may be, right? Kyrie
right.
has always just been one of those guys that's just been like, like I kind of say my opinion on Twitter about something, you know what I'm saying? Or if I don't want to get a shot, I'm just not gonna get a shot. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's my body, you know what I'm saying? My body, my choice. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny how the world can back a group of people that can say, my body, my choice. But if Kyrie says, I don't want to get a vaccine, it's my body, it's my choice, then it's all of a sudden it's a horrible, horrendous thing. And you should be suspended indefinitely for
Mm,
It's
mm,
about control though.
yeah.
They
Of
they they
course.
they,
Of
they
course.
feel they feel like if we can't, they feel like they're losing. Well, let me go broad. White
Mm,
supremacy, period, is losing its grip and control
mm,
on some of the you know the famous people, you know what I mean? People like Kanye, Kyrie, stuff like that. People are starting to not not want to be controlled anymore, man. And people
Mm-hmm.
and like especially when they become like billionaires like Kyrie, I mean not Kyrie, but Kanye, or multimillionaires like Kyrie, they done
Mm-hmm.
got paid so much money that trying to control them by taking money away from them or taking opportunities away from them is not
Yeah.
even a threat no more. Like
Yeah.
the only thing they got on Kyrie right now is he's only 30. He's in his prime and he loves basketball. That's a
Mm.
curse that everybody who grew up playing a sport have. Like we love that sport. It became so a part of us and a part of our nature that it's hard to pull away from. Look at Tom Brady. It's hard to pull away from that.
Mm.
The unfortunate thing for us as black people though is the same love we have for the sport, the
Mm.
people that we're playing the sport for have that same love for money and control. They
True.
they don't they don't they don't raise their kids to grow up to have basketball or baseball or football bleeding through their veins. They get up and be like, hey, look, this is how you run a company. This is how you
Mm.
control people. And that's their practice. And our practice is, doing the work and letting them make money off our back, right? But we're breaking loose from that. People are waking up from that. People like Kyrie and Kanye is waking up from that, and they're saying, "Look,
Mm.
man, we want to break loose. We want to be 100% free. We got a
Yeah.
little bit free when slavery was ended, but that's still a form of slavery that that we're part of, even though we're making money. But what's your thoughts on that? Do I call you solar power or what? Which one we call you?
Uh, well, I mean, you can put. Well, I put in the chat spav, so that's the
Okay.
nickname. You can just say that. But see, the thing that I don't necessarily like is the apology thing. I'm not sure if he actually apologized or any of that. Just say what you got to say and stand on it. Don't backtrack because it's like they get some kind of a. I don't know. It's like they get off to when they break you down and make you
Yeah.
apologize in front of everybody. So don't give that to them.
Yeah.
Don't give that to them. Say what you're gonna say and stand by it. It's your opinion. You have a right to your own opinion, man.
I don't think
So
they go
just
accept it. I don't think they go accept it. I don't think
okay.
it's good enough for them. They won't because when this first happened, the owner said, "I just want to have a talk with him,"
Mm,
right? But so many people in the public was giving so much backlash about it. It
mm-hmm,
became more than just a talk. And then when
mm,
the reporters came and asked him questions, and the way he answered those questions it annoyed people, and you when
yeah.
someone annoy you and he looked like a loose cannon, they try
Mm-hmm,
to gain control publicly.
yeah.
So then it became you need to take the tweet down
Yeah.
and apologize. Then he took the tweet down, and they kept asking him questions. Are you anti-Semitic? No.
Yeah.
I'm Semitic. When they was like, well, we don't like this. So even though he apologized, they're
Mm-hmm,
going to move the goalposts again. Tomorrow is going to turn into it's gonna be something else, but more than likely they want him to actually come out and say, um, I don't believe X, Y, and Z. They gonna want him to get more specific tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah. And I hope he doesn't, man. He's already made his views clear and where he stands. Just like don't give in to that, man. Because even I'm starting to see like certain parallels between him and Kanye to where like they
Yeah,
got the mics in his face. Are you gonna apologize? Are you gonna apologize? Like, it's like they get off to that, man.
yeah.
And this is well, it makes me kind of think, man. And this is I don't really want to hit your channel up about this, but it makes me start to really wonder, like, what were they doing in Germany? You know what I'm
What
saying?
you hold on? You said what are they doing? Where
What were they doing in Germany? Like the quote unquote people that we talking about, the big heads that's
the
in
we
charge.
call them Juice.
All right, Juice.
OJ the Juice Man.
The J Dubs,
Hello.
yeah, OJ the Juice Man. What was y'all doing in Germany, and how is it that y'all can nearly be completely decimated and then come flee to America, and then within like 100 years, y'all up in the top exec spots? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
so
That's
so so
go ahead.
so that hey, that's a deep conversation because first and foremost, when they was in Germany then,
Hmm.
there were a lot of Jews here already here in the
Hmm.
states, right? And they had good positions in the government and and stuff like that.
Sure.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
a set like I seen I don't know if this person on Twitter was actually from the Jewish community, but he said he was, and he was like, his words was, I'm
Mm-hmm.
Jewish and I'm from the Jewish community, and people got to learn the difference between uh Jewish people and
Mm-hmm.
Zionists.
What's
And
the difference?
Okay, so Zionism was something that was created around the time of World War I, and
Mm-hmm.
the Zionists were very rich Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to say anything wrong that someone's going to think is anti anything, right? But just
Mm-hmm.
just from my research, the Zionist movement was supposed to be a search for a homeland for the
Mm-hmm.
Jews, because there was in Europe, jumping from place to place. There
Mm-hmm.
was places like Turkey, Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and they were getting kicked out of these countries for whatever reason, right? No, 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 serious.
I
So
found
they
that
were so
funny. So.
yeah. So they had bounced around Europe, and the Zionist movement was find a homeland for the Jews,
Mm.
right? During World War I, that's when the Balfour letter. If you Google the Balfour letter, there was a prime minister of France, and France owned parts of Africa, including Palestine, which we call now Israel.
Mm-hmm.
um, they owned that land, and they had made a deal with some of the rich Zionist
Yeah.
Jews to acquire that land. If well, the other part is speculation, so I'm not gonna add that part on. But that letter pretty much says, yeah, we'll give y'all that land. And
Mm-hmm.
then, but they still didn't occupy that land. It still was in Germany. And then when World War II came around, and then the Holocaust happened, that's when everyone left and went to Israel, and they kicked the Palestinians off of Palestine, and they just took the land, and that's why Palestine and Israel are always at war.
Yeah. Well, the original question I was asking, I don't think I was clear, is what were they doing at first? Because I understand, like, everybody's got their own version of how history took place. And I know that I'm only 35 years old and I wasn't old enough to see it. So I do realize that, with history, there's going to be a little bit of truth and a little bit of lies. So the question that I'm asking is like, what were y'all doing in the first place for old boy wanted to kill y'all like that? And, as soon as y'all come over here, what I'm saying, y'all doing some funny, shady stuff. And
Bruh,
it's almost like y'all, I mean, this is just my, you know, I'm just thinking like y'all probably was doing some of the same stuff over there. And uh,
If you don't correct it, history will repeat itself.
yeah, but yeah. So check this out. That's a good question, but guess what? If you do research on that and find
hmm
out what they was doing over there to get kicked out of all those countries in Europe, and
hmm
you repeat that, guess what it's called? Anti-Semitism, right? So now you see why it's so annoying
hmm
for Kyrie Irving, because it don't matter what you find out in history. If you
hmm
find out something negative about this group of people in
yeah,
history, you can't say it, because
hmm
it's hate speech if you do.
Get kicked out
yeah.
of
You
all
couldn't
these
even.
countries in Europe, and you
hmm
repeat that. Guess
Hello, who got that YouTube on? Somebody
I
echo.
don't. I don't.
Hey Corey, you
Um,
muted.
that was me. That was
Oh,
me.
okay.
My bad. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm trying to fix the mic at the same time. I just
Yeah.
work on it later. But
But yeah,
yeah,
ain't that messed up though? You like
yeah,
it don't like your question can be answered, but it can't be
it's
answered
not.
in public.
yeah.
That's not.
You can't.
That's not.
You,
That's not messed up. That's just the way that people
that's how
want
they're
the
gonna.
system to work.
They want to control the narrative that way. It's
Yes,
like they don't. It's
that's
like
exactly
it's
what
something
they
that they
want.
hiding because if you spark the conversation up, they're like, no, no, that's anti-Semitic. Now apologize. It's like
So
they don't want you to
so
go digging in there.
I got
Right.
into this conversation at work, and like you're probably not supposed to talk about stuff like this at work, but you have a bunch of people that are quote unquote highly educated, right? And
Right.
hmm
the question came up, about why is this stuff such a big deal today? And I think my answer kind of shocked a lot of people, and Melvin, you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I talked to my girlfriend about it a lot, right? Um, and I believe like so when President Obama was elected, there was a lot of people that didn't like it, right?
Right.
And they were just afraid to say it because a lot of things, especially stuff like that, like I don't, I never, I never follow a black man, at the head of the head of the country, right?
Right.
Um, he shut a lot of that down super fast, right? Like super fast. He would just be like, no, like we're not even going to entertain that, right? We're not going to entertain it at all. And he was always in an uphill battle because of you had some middle to older uh white people that were kind of set in their ways, and those ways were you know 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and
Right.
that's the way that they were, that and those were their strong beliefs, right? So President Obama kind of broke that mold. I believe a lot of people voted Donald Trump into office strictly because they wanted the exact opposite of what Barack Obama stood for, or what his him being voted as a president stood for as a nation. That we were starting to overcome. That this is, in other words, this is the last stronghold of the older generation trying to hold on to those beliefs, and they will control it through the media. They will control it. I mean, Donald Trump made it cool to be racist again. He did.
You said cool. He made it cool to be racist.
He made it cool to be racist again. 2020, if you look at the things that happened in 2020, and I said a statement earlier, history, if you don't correct it, it will repeat itself. It looked a lot like the civil rights movement. You had riots, you had protests. The only thing that was missing was water hoses and dogs being released on people, but they were shooting people with tear gas and stuff,
Yeah.
You talking about when they
right?
stormed the White House?
Yeah, and that too, right? I don't get voted in, so I'm gonna storm the White House, right?
The
Like
Capitol, not the White House. The
well, excuse
Capitol.
me, the Capitol. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
So that
That's
is, it's things like that. Like, man, this is like, and we're gonna go through it for another 20, 25 years. Like, this is the last. This is the stronghold. The youth of today don't really. They don't really jive with that way of thinking, right? And this is like, I'm trying to set an example to preserve this stronghold that we have on this country, and it's gonna get stronger, right? Like it's going to flat out it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Like I
Well.
had a I have a picture of my girlfriend on my desk, right?
Mm.
And she's from Brazil. And it was a dude that, and it kind of what started the comment. He's like, I and there's a older white gentleman. He said, forgive me for saying this. He said, but I just don't believe in mixed race dating. I don't believe that in that at all. And
Mm.
I was like, so what are you gonna do if your son or your daughter come home with a mixed baby? Are you just not gonna love it?
Hey, but you know what, Corey, and especially at work, when
Mm-hmm.
people come to you and give you crazy, you just got to give them crazy back, man. Like
That
like
you have
like
to.
what you
Yeah.
should have said when he said that is, I don't either. And he just and he would have just been mouth wide open like
Like what? But when I asked him that, when I said, so what happens when your son or your daughter, and I said, and I don't know if you have any children or not, but what happens when your son or your daughter come home with a mixed baby? You just not gonna love it?
what do you say?
And he just and I was just looking at him, and I just kind of laughed, and I turned around and I kept typing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you felt super comfortable enough not only to come into my office, but then to comment about the shit that's on my wall in my office.
Mm.
Like, what gave you the right to come in here and do that? First
That's
of all,
interesting.
I don't
That's
go in your
interesting.
I don't come in your office and comment on shit. I ain't even go in your office and grab the free Halloween candy. And I
And you
love
in
candy.
and you in Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
that explains a lot.
Hey,
But it's like,
sorry.
and like in Texas, we are dealing with a humongous governor race, right? Where you have a guy here that has basically made Texas the wild wild west.
What you mean?
You
Yeah, yeah.
you don't have to have a license, nothing
Mm-hmm.
to carry a firearm.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay.
All you have to do is to be 21 years of age and not have a felony, and you can have a gun.
That's
What
rough.
do you
See,
do? Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
And go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, I
I'm
was just gonna.
rambling now. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you, like, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's a net positive, net negative, or?
But listen, I carry a gun now because for my protection.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's even the road rage incidents. You know what I mean? It's like people like they'll run up on you and they'll and they'll be screaming and yelling at you in the car, right?
Right.
And and you looking at him and you like, the only reason he this brave is because he got a gun in his car. That's the only reason that he's this brave. He would never say nothing to me in life. The only reason that
Mm,
he's even talking to me crazy is because he got a gun in the car.
Mm.
And they like inviting you to come and do something so they can shoot you,
yeah. Oh shit.
right? But I got a gun too,
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
and I
rough,
feel
bro.
like I have to carry it for my protection.
That's rough.
But do you feel like that keeps you both at like a confrontational neutral? Because deep down that he got a gun, and it'll be basically like a shootout. So that way,
It doesn't keep me
if it.
confrontational neutral because I really don't care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I let you say whatever you got to say. I'm still sitting right here beside you. Like you come cutting me off and speeding by me and
Mm-hmm.
swerving through traffic and stuff, and we stop at the same red light.
Yeah. Well,
We in the
I
same
was
spot.
sorry. I
And
should have.
you're upset because I took too long at a red light or I took too long at a stop sign. And you just land. I'm just giving you an example, and you just land on your horn because I didn't go fast enough for you, and then you get confrontational, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you want me to act a fool and get out my car and get out
Yeah.
huffy and puffy so you can shoot me. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm above all that, right? Like I am, but like there are people here in the state of Texas. Like there was a guy yesterday, Hispanic guy that got
Mm-hmm.
shot on the freeway
Oh wow.
because a lady cut him off. Excuse me, a guy cut him off. He
Mm-hmm.
blew on his horn, right? The dude got back over in the lane. They sped up. They had some words, and he shot the dude in the head and killed him.
Mm, man, that's crazy.
Hey,
Hey,
let me get through Brent's comments because he got a lot of them in here,
Go ahead,
and
man.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to run through them. This one is interesting because he said that Irving apologized many times. And yeah, I agree with that, man. Like he didn't say I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but that man kept apologizing, and he just didn't say the words "I'm sorry," and then he kept telling them, "Look, I love all people, but he just didn't come out and say I'm not anti-Semitic."
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I guess he wasn't direct and he went around the bush, but I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why it's so important for them to get him to say the exact words they wanted him to say, but it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. Here's another good comment. He said he thought Kyrie was civil and the media was nasty and rude. I agree with that
Exactly.
100%. And then
Same.
he said, where's the union? I think you talking about the NBA Players
Yeah.
Association. They made a statement. Of course, they came out and their statement was lockstep with the rest of the league and with Adam
Yeah.
Silver. So
Yeah.
nobody came out and backed them up really, but I did appreciate that nobody came out and like pretty much throw them under the bus either. Like you didn't have
Yeah.
players tweeting and other than Shaq and the people that get paid to talk,
Yeah.
they all throw them under the bus. You know what I mean? So
That's
um,
why that
go
that
ahead.
part was it was disappointing but not surprising. I actually was on. I was watching it while I was on my flight from North Carolina back home, and
Yeah,
I was just like, "What? Dang, man,
yeah.
come on, Shaq." uh,
Called him an
Charles
idiot
Bark.
too, didn't he? They both
Damn,
called
I'm
him an
like,
idiot. They both
come on,
called
man.
him an idiot, like they was reading from a script. They both called
Yeah.
him an idiot.
And Kenny
Crazy.
Smith, I can tell that probably like deep down inside, he empathizes for Kyrie, but he couldn't outright defend him, so he had to kind of like sit on the fence a little
What
bit.
you think would happen if they did though?
Who?
Be real honest. What you think? You think it's just too much pressure once you see that everybody's going one way?
Hmm.
You think it's just natural for people to say, "Well, shoot, I want to say something different, but I don't
Yeah.
want to get steamrolled like he is." So you just go along to get along, or do you think that they're all getting coerced?
I I think that they see people like Kanye, uh, and how they made example out of them, and they
Yeah,
don't want that happening to them, so they have
yeah.
to pretty much say what they got to say because I don't. This is my opinion. I don't think Charles Barkley and Shaq actually believe that because either that or they didn't look at the tweet or there was because I don't understand how anybody can get upset. It's just he's just tweeting out like that to me doesn't make any sense.
I
Uh,
don't see how
um,
anybody can get upset that didn't watch the movie.
I haven't seen it, nor I don't think I am. It kind of makes me want to look at it, but I heard it was boring. And
Yeah,
to be honest,
it was kind of boring, man. I look, I've been trying to watch it for 3 straight days.
hmm
Now when in 2018 when they first started advertising it, I was excited to watch it, but the guy who put the documentary out was putting so many different pieces of information out before the
Marvel.
documentary dropped. It felt like I had all the information that he was going to use. Like I felt like before I even watched the film, I felt like I had it. Now when I tried to watch the film,
hmm
yeah, that junk it drug on. It's a lot of information he throwing at you, and I don't like the way he put it together. But he did his research. He did do his research. It's just it was just it didn't have a good flow to it. I'm gonna be honest
I
with you.
I heard that somewhere in it, it said that the Holocaust never happened or something like that. Do you know if it said?
And look, and I didn't even see that part. I probably was looking at something else when it got to that part. And I don't and that's something I wouldn't agree with. Now, if I was Kyrie and I seen that it said that, no, I wouldn't go that far. So I think I wouldn't have had a problem coming out and apologize for that. I think
Mm,
Kyrie he took offense to them calling him anti-Semitic just right off the bat, just because he shared the movie, and didn't
hmm
he didn't give him the benefit of the doubt at all. Um, and they just started jumping down his throat, and I guess he was kind of like on the defense mode. Like, look, man, I can watch what I want to watch, man.
yeah,
So
I would
which
even
is true.
I wouldn't apologize for them, saying that the Holocaust is fake because I didn't make the movie. I just shared it. I'm not gonna
That's it.
apologize for that. Tell
That's
Jeff Bezos to apologize for that.
exactly. That's another good point, man. That's
And
another
then
good point.
I would at some point I would start to redirect that energy towards him and be like, "Hey, are y'all gonna ask Jeff Bezos to apologize?" Like,
Yeah,
I would just
yeah.
straight out say it, like, "Damn." And
I
then
mean, he
if
could
he,
he
hmm,
he could have went even deeper, man. He could have grabbed some stuff from the Talmud, the book that that's a coveted book in the Jewish community. I would have grabbed the Talmud and started reading because it's so much hateful stuff in that book.
mm,
And I just would have, hey, look, man, hey, do y'all believe this? You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it's a lot of ways he could have been if he really wanted to turn up like that, man. But I mean, I think, man, you live you got to kind of live the fight another day, and you got to choose
hmm,
your battles. And I think I like that he stood his ground, but it ain't time. It ain't time for the fight right now. It ain't that time, man. It's coming though. It's coming, and no more people are waking up. And from what I hear, that now that they put so much attention on this documentary, it's now number one on Amazon for religious movies, I think, right now.
see,
So that dude made a lot of money just off Kyrie sharing it,
yeah,
just sharing that tweet. And the crazy thing about it is when he tweeted it,
hmm,
only followers of Kyrie at that time saw it. And out of all the people that follow your platform, you're not getting 100% of them really engaging in every tweet you have. So if he had 1 million followers and he tweeted that out, he only probably half of those people saw that tweet and was like, "What's this movie? Let me go to it." Right. But when his owner Josiah, the Brooklyn Nets owner Josiah, came behind him and was like, "I'm disappointed in Kyrie for sharing that tweet." That's when everybody was like, "What tweet?" And that's when I found
Yeah,
out about it because I didn't even see.
I
I
didn't even
follow
know
Kyrie on
anything.
Twitter, and I didn't even see him post it. I seen when Josiah posted, and I was like, "What did Kyrie do?" So I went to his page and I saw it. I was like, "Oh man, he bruised the Negroes." I see it, and then that's when
Mm,
everybody found out about it, and people just started. Like I said, I seen it in 2018, parts of it. I went and bought
mm.
it again on Amazon just to watch it. So I
I
mean,
feel
think about that, man.
I feel like that documentary opened up a can of worms that the juice people don't want people to know about. You know what I'm
They,
saying? They don't want to talk about what's in there.
they
They just
don't.
trying to shut it up. It's
They-
anti-Semitic. Anything in there?
yeah,
All wrong. So
which
I'm
is
not the type.
weird. Which is weird because I think Jeff Bezos is juice.
Oh, he don't even know what's up there. But I mean, I don't even think he would care. I mean, he's got so much other stuff going on, so I wouldn't expect him
Bezos
to.
don't. Bezos, he don't care about that stuff. You know, he only thing that he's worried about is making money.
Yeah, the customer. If you ever
Yeah,
watch that
That's it.
interview,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
worried
yeah,
about the customer.
You
He
can
ain't
tell
even think
by
about it.
yeah, you can tell by how his his company runs that it's all about making money. That's
yeah.
it.
And he talking about trying to buy the Washington Commanders right now.
And don't get it twisted and think that he ain't got enough money to do it.
Oh yeah,
He can
yeah,
he can write a check for the Commanders right now, and it's just
uh,
that's beer money that he write it for.
yeah. That's for sure, man. Hey, Brent said it's people need to realize it's your choice to be offended. That's that's a
yeah.
good point.
It is.
Yes, it is. It
That's a
is,
good point.
man.
That's a real
Hey,
good point.
well, another question I have about the documentary, does it say anything about rising up and killing people or anything like, or is
No,
it just knowledge? Okay. So,
it's just knowledge. I think the biggest thing that they can point to is I guess the rest of this time that this earth exists, you can never quote Hitler, and I think they quoted Hitler,
hmm
right?
yeah,
So that was offensive. Oh my God, you quoted Hitler. Why would you even do that, right? So that was offensive. The fact that they said that the
that's,
top level Jews worship Satan,
oh,
and 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 the fact that they said that the original Jews were black, which means that the ones that exist now are not
right,
the original
yeah.
Jews,
I
right?
would like to see, all right, let me, I'm not religious, so I don't really follow the whole thing on how the white people uh, are saying that they're the real Jews, but I understand it to some degree as it pertains to the Black Hebrew Israelites. But I don't really understand how they're because some of the Jews, I'm sorry, I should say, are secular. So I'm curious about why do y'all even say that y'all are from from this? So I never really had that question particularly answered. So do you guys understand
Yeah,
basically?
yeah, yeah. So they were okay. So let me get the disclaimer. According to some sources,
Mm-hmm.
they were, and the sources I say the book is a book called The 13th Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about the 12 tribes of Israel, 13 would mean an extra one, like a extra toe. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
the
say
book
that again.
the book is called The
Oh,
13th Tribe. So,
it's the extra toe.
yeah. But someone from the Jewish community wrote this book.
Mm,
And he documented the origin of the Khazar Jews and the Ashkenazi Jews, which based out of European and parts of different countries in Europe, right? So anyway, what this book documents is that at some point those people who were born in Europe converted to
To
Judaism,
Judaism. Yeah.
right?
mm-hmm.
uh, Around the same time this was happening, the real Hebrews were getting taken as slaves from parts of West Africa and brought over to the Americas and South America and North America, right?
Mm,
Um, So of course, you know how slavery went. You bring a people over here, you separate them from their land, their people, their
Right.
heritage, their history, and then you
Mm,
give them new names, right?
mm,
Because the names that these people had the name of Yahweh in it, right? Because it
mm,
identified who they were. There were a lot of names that reverted back to Yahweh. So you was like, man, we know those people of the God of the Bible or of Yahweh because their names say so. That's why it
mm.
was so important to change the names of the slaves when they came over here because it identifies who you are, right? So
Okay.
they changed the name, and then generation after generation after generation after generation, you forget that what your heritage is. Well, while they're getting forgotten and they're forgetting who they are and they become more Americanized, now the world really don't know what the real Jews are at, and the real Jews don't even know they're the real Jews.
Yeah. The other question that I want to ask is, so do the Jews community believe that there's a promised land for them? And if so, where is it?
What
Or they
they
just
they living in
uh,
it now. They're
us?
living in it. Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
it,
America
it
was a promised land for them?
no, Israel.
Oh, Israel. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it is there in what they call the Middle East or
Mm,
somewhere close to the Suez Canal. That yeah, so that it used to be Palestine. Like so when the original Hebrews in the Bible documents this when the original Hebrews left Israel because
mm,
they got taken slaves multiple times in Egypt, in Babylon.
mm,
King Titus came by and wiped them out. But that was punishment for the Bible said it was punishment. So they went west, right? They
mm,
they had to leave their land because they got beat up and conquered and killed and all that stuff. So they migrated away from it. And the people who called themselves Palestinians were living in that land for a long time until 1948 after World War II. After World War
mm,
II, that's when the Jews from Israel was like, not Israel, but from that was in Germany was like, hey, we finally got our land back. Let's go to Israel. So they go to Israel for the first time and act like they had been there the first time. Oh, they act like they had been there before. So here come these Europeans coming from Europe over to a land that's really Africa that they call in the
mm,
Middle East and taking and kicking the people off of Palestine and renaming it Israel and starting their own country.
mm. Another thing, it's kind of off topic, but it's on the same topic. Uh, is that at least I'm trying to remain aware that this whole thing could be a diversion, or at least like a distraction, that something else could be going on behind the scenes that we're not paying attention to, and they're using this as a prop to draw everybody's attention to, while maybe some kind of bill or something gets passed that slips under our nose. So I'm just trying to keep my
Yeah,
antennas out
yeah, that's
just in
true.
case that.
That's
So.
that's true. I agree with you 100%, man, because it is election time.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, come on, we got people like Herschel Walker, Shonda Rhimes, and people like that running. And I get it, man. They people of color, and we always think that if we get a person of color somewhere, that they go help us out. But man, I really would not vote for Herschel Walker in a million years, and I would and I would not vote for Shonda Rhimes either.
Did
I just
you
wouldn't. Man.
did you I don't know if you I don't know if you've paid much attention to some of Herschel Walker's statements. Did you hear his statement about the clean air?
No, what do you say?
Nah, what would you say?
It's just true. So and first thing I thought about when I listened to it, because I listened to it like 3 or 4 times because I thought it was a joke, but he was serious. It's straight CTE. Like that's exactly what it is. It's CTE. Basically what he said was that China stole our clean air, and
Whoa.
they filled us with dirty air, and we need to get our clean air back.
Oh man.
Just
Oh,
go. Just whenever this is over with, right? Just go on YouTube and
bro.
and search Herschel Walker clean air.
so
I
I
tell you,
definitely got
man.
to check that out. Hey,
And
I'm sorry,
it's
Jacob.
and this was and he stood by that shit too. Like,
And he go
it,
get he go get the votes. You know that, right?
bro. And man, listen, that I mean,
He,
it's
he's going to get votes, man, and I think he's going to get the votes because I think people just want to. I you know what? I've never seen this before. I really want to see. I really want to see a man with CTE in office, man. I want to see where this go. I think this is a game for some people, man. Like it's
Man,
got to be a joke.
man, this whole thing is a joke.
it's not a
Hey,
joke. It's kind of one of the same things. Like, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys really paid attention to previous elections and stuff, but um, when um the Republican Party was known for sending out a front run, right? It used to be Ross Perot.
Ross
They would
Perot.
send out a front runner that had all these radical beliefs, these radical thoughts. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And and there was always somebody that would come behind them. And I can't stand my girlfriend. Uh, she walking in the laundry room, and I was when I was talking, she's sitting over there going. So it was always a front runner that had these radical beliefs, radical thoughts, and and like it was always like he would gain a bunch of momentum, but there was always a cool, level-headed person that came behind him, right? And then at the end of the primaries, right, what they would do is Ross Perot would be like, okay, I concede, you know what I mean? This is the guy I support. I support him as well, and my
Yeah,
followers need
yeah,
to support him too because we share a lot of the same beliefs, so on and so
yeah.
forth.
Hmm.
Um, Donald Trump got so much traction that they didn't even have that opportunity this time,
Nope.
right? They did.
E-
There was so
Even though,
much traction in the United States with it, right? That they didn't even have that opportunity to bring somebody the cool head behind him. They were like,
yeah.
shit, let's just run with it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, shit, he gonna win. Let's run with it.
You don't
And
think Trump was supposed to be the one?
no, he wasn't. I don't think he ever was supposed to be the one, but he there's so much traction behind him. And like I
Yeah.
said, there was so many people that wanted the exact opposite of what was in the White House at that time, right? That
Hmm.
they were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
And
um it's almost like that racist person or bigoted believing person that says like you can't call me racist. I got a black friend. That black friend is Herschel Walker.
dang, man, I know the left does that too because I remember when Hillary was running against Obama when she lost, she gave that all her support to him.
It is.
Yeah.
Mayor's still laughing at me, but I'm I'm so serious. That's what he is.
I'm gonna have to look this guy up, man. Herschel Walker. I'm gonna have to look him up.
Look, man,
Oh, dope, man. You haven't been paying attention to what he's doing, bro.
bro, you have to pay attention
I
to him,
haven't.
man. Like
Yo,
it,
I
man.
haven't. I've been
and it's
like
funny,
out of the
and it's
loop
funny
though.
because he got that traction because now all these people can't say you can't call me racist. I voted for Herschel Walker.
Oh my god, but that's funny, man. Hey, look, Brent make a good point. He said he preferred that people focus on the issues rather than the candidate. Both can go hand in hand, but it takes effort to figure out what's real, and that cannot be further closer to the truth because most black people I know voted for Obama just because he was black.
Just because.
And we wanted to make that history, and we wanted to stick it to everybody that was like we not voting for him because it was a group of people who were non-black who was not voting for Obama because he was black. So we was like the counter to that,
Hmm.
right? So we didn't even expect or ask Obama to do anything for us that's going to make our life better as black people in this country, right? We didn't even ask. So what
Well,
do you do?
well, the
He got
thing,
he,
the
he got
thing,
it.
the thing is, Mel, is that he wasn't never going to be able to do that. No way.
We
Probably
They,
not.
assumed that he
they,
was.
they made the House and the Senate. That was the counter to Obama.
Yeah,
He had a
Mm,
lot of great, fantastic ideas, but he could never get them passed because they were never going to let him pass those things.
yeah, that might be
Never,
true. That might be
never.
true.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
you ever notice that, like, and this is what's crazy, and this is how I believe if you just simplify things and just look at it for what it is, right? It's crazy. Like Obama fought the House and the Senate his entire 8 years in office.
Mm,
It was like a constant battle, and his speeches, like his addressing the nation, it was always, and you would watch when he would do like what do you call it, the what is it, the
State of the Union.
State of the Union, like when he does a State of the Union, the
Yeah.
room would be so divided. He would say something and one side would clap and the other side would be quiet, like you would see no movement whatsoever.
yeah.
And
Mitch
he would
McConnell was
basically,
the dude that was laughing about, like, after Obama left office. Mitch McConnell was the dude that was laughing, saying, bragging about just saying no to voting no to all his bills
yeah,
just because. You remember when Mitch McConnell little
yes, I
turkey neck?
do. I do.
That's my.
But so this is what was crazy to me, right? Is that they were that party, the Republican Party, was so afraid that Hillary Clinton was going to lose that they set the House and the Senate up the exact same way,
Mm,
to where where Hillary was going to have hell getting anything passed. But then she lost. So
Mm,
now you watch Trump's State of the Union address. Anytime he says anything in there, the entire room is going bananas. You have
mm,
little pockets of people that are quiet,
mm,
right?
yeah,
And he spent 4 years trying to erase everything that President Obama did,
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Obamacare, all that stuff. Yeah, yeah,
everything. And all he did, and really with Obamacare, because if you read the National Health Care Act, right? If you read it, there are even parts in there that still say Obamacare.
yeah.
yeah.
Because all he did was change the cover page and put it as the National Health Care Act.
Which is funny. I mean, but you know what? At the end of the day, if that was my plan, and I called it mail care,
Yeah.
Mm,
and you came in after me and was like, man, I'm about to take his name off of it and do it, I kind of would be a little bit mad because you being spiteful. But at the end of the day, what I wrote into into a bill actually
It
is
worked.
getting, yeah, it's actually getting done. So I wouldn't
Worked.
be
But
too mad.
what's crazy to me is that there are so many people in this nation that were just against Obamacare, against Obamacare.
Yeah,
Obamacare is the worst thing that ever happened to the medical field, everything.
yeah.
Trump changes the name of it, right? And it's the best thing ever.
best thing since sliced bread. Hey Brent, I'm uh,
Hey,
I'm I'm reading a lot of your comments, man. Hit that cash app at least one time, big dog, or super chat or something. Appreciate it.
hey, uh, well, not to digress, but I kind of want to talk about the Kyrie again.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
Um,
ahead.
go ahead, man.
so, w- do you think now, with all what's going on, with the suspension and stuff, that the Brooklyn Nets would now be open to trade Kyrie? Uh, and then now you got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, starting to build up a little stock that they will be interested in making that trade now for Russell Westbrook for Kyrie. What do
Corey,
you
what
think?
you think?
Say that one more time.
Now,
Uh,
now that everything is going on with Kyrie, do you think, and with Russ actually starting to play better with the Lakers right now,
Don't
do you think
don't don't talk to
Brooklyn
me
will go
about
ahead and
Russell
make that
Westbrook.
trade?
Don't talk to me about Russell Westbrook.
Look, I
why you
look,
say that? Like,
I think the Brooklyn Nets are
I'm
not
not a
that
Russ.
smart.
I'm not a. I
Brooklyn,
no. I love Russ, and I love the fact that he's playing better, right?
I
Um,
love it too, man. I like.
but
Go
I
ahead.
do not think that, and this is my personal opinion. I think that the NBA and the media, Stephen A. Smith, I think they're trying to blackball anything Kyrie does to
Mm-hmm.
just basically run him out of the NBA. Nobody's gonna want the drama that is created behind Kyrie in this media storm. Nobody's gonna want to adopt that. And I don't even think LeBron would adopt it right now. I don't.
Right. I mean, that's an interesting point. And Stephen A. has held a personal vendetta against Kyrie ever since Kyrie came on
Oh
the
my
first
God.
tape.
Since since the vaccine.
Well, I'm talking about
And
before
even
then.
and even when he turned his back on LeBron, supposedly.
When they pulled him in the first take to talk about it, and he essentially wouldn't even get into the details of their personal relationship because you know what I'm saying. What happens between them stays between them. You don't really want to talk about that national television. And they just felt like, oh, man, this you're supposed to come up here and tell it all. And then from there it was just downhill. They've been on Kyrie's head ever since then. Well,
Yeah.
even before then, but yeah, they even more so since he did that. But as Russell Westbrook go, man, it looks like he having fun now, man. I was watching that game yesterday. It looked like he having fun. And for some reason, Russell Westbrook, he got that smile and that quote unquote swag that when he play, he's all happy and stuff. It just makes me happy. I'm like, yeah, man, because the media has just been tearing at this guy for so long, and you know, rightfully so. In some degree, he ain't been playing all that great, but also at the same time, I do believe that um, even though he's a great player and all that stuff, I think that the coach could have utilized him better. And I think that's part of the coach's job. If your player isn't playing well, to try to figure out ways where he can, you know, excel. And I don't feel like Frank Vogel really did that with Russ. You know, especially at the beginning of the season when he had him paired with Rondo, and it was crazy, man. And then,
Frank Vogel was afraid to coach that team,
yeah,
right? Like he was coaching it, but like in a box. Like when you really coaching a team, you don't mind telling a player like Westbrook you're coming off the bench, or telling a player like Westbrook um um you're not the point, you're off the ball, you're gonna be playing off the ball, you know what I mean, or telling a player like LeBron we're not
hmm
running the offense through you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you got to do that because Phil Jackson, he came in as a rookie coach and took the ball out of Michael Jordan's hand and said, "We running the triangle." And Michael
yeah.
Jordan hated that because Doug Collins let Michael Jordan do whatever the hell he wanted.
He was just Mike D'Antoni.
Right, exactly. It was a Mike D'Antoni and James Harden all over again.
hmm
But that's what Doug Collins and Mike was. Um, but um, but yeah, Phil Jackson changed all that, and I don't think Frank Vogel was capable of coaching those guys outside of the norm of what they was used to. So he had
Yeah.
he had to go. He really did.
And then, well, to Vogel's defense, man, with with the Lakers being as pristine of a franchise as it is, and then constantly hearing rumbles in the media that he could possibly potentially be fired, and then understanding how Russell Westbrook's alpha mentality is, and same thing with LeBron. I can only imagine being in the position as Frank Vogel. That kind of had to be a little bit rough, but that's what you get paid the big bucks for. You're there to be their leader, and you have to be able to block out all the noise and say, "Hey, look, this is what I need to get done. Let's get it done." And
Yeah,
the biggest argument that at least I was hearing last year about Russell Westbrook coming off the bench was his salary. But my thing was like, well, okay, I get it. He's getting paid all that money, but if you can figure out another way to make them effective, then I feel like it's still somewhat justified in somewhat of a sense. Because at the end of the day, you pay all that money to these players so that you can win. So you have to figure out how to make it work. It may not work in the traditional sense to where how the NBA has it since today, where it's just pick and roll isolation.
yeah,
You might have to draw up some more ball movement, get like a swing motion offense similar to like how the Spurs or little bit mixed plays from how the Warriors use and stuff like that. Just don't
Yeah,
jack up so many threes. But
yeah. That's real
you know, what
basketball. What the Spurs and Warriors doing? That's real basketball.
yeah,
What the Brooklyn Nets are doing? What Steve Nash had Brooklyn doing? What the Lakers was doing? And what Luka doing in Dallas? Man, that is not basketball. I don't know what the hell that is, man.
that's cancer, yo.
I
That's
hate that offense. And then the crazy thing about it is your when you run that offense, your star player usually get big numbers because Westbrook did it in OKC, Harden did it in Houston, and
yeah,
Luka is doing it in Dallas. You get big numbers. Westbrook got an MVP like that, triple double king. Harden was almost daggone near a triple double, and he got an MVP out of the deal. It looks like
mm-hmm,
Luka might get an MVP out of the deal, but all they get is numbers.
yeah,
But their offense is trash, man. It's
yeah.
horrible.
I call it the LeBron system. That's what
Yeah.
it's
It,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's LeBron's system. And but the thing about it, LeBron is number one, he's 10 times well in his prime, he was 10 times better than all three of those guys.
yeah,
Plus, he got his first ring with a super team. Like he went
right.
and got joint Wade in his prime and Bosh in his prime, and then got Ray Allen past his prime, and Rashard Lewis and Mike Miller. I mean, it was I mean, it was a super team, right?
And
He so the LeBron's system don't really work, but when you mix it with a super team, almost any system will work with a super team. You know what I mean? So
and,
so it's not a proven system. It doesn't work.
well, they didn't. It was like it wasn't quite the LeBron system in Miami because Eric Spoelstra was still throwing in a little bit of mix in there.
That's true.
It
That's true.
it really evolved once he went to once he went back to Cleveland. That
Yeah.
was full blown LeBron system,
Full
especially
blown
when
with
you had Shannon
Bronson. Yeah.
Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shannon Fry on the perimeter. Pretty much all the shooters, y'all gonna stand out there. Y'all gonna be basically uh, back seat, and they're just gonna stay on the perimeter. I'm gonna drive. As soon as somebody help, I'm gonna kick it.
Yeah. And then and
And
then when I drive, if we don't get a shot off of it, we just rotate the ball and then Kyrie go try the same thing. And that's all it was. They just took turns like LeBron and get the high screen. If he get to the paint, great. If he don't get to the paint, dish it out. But if the pass ain't there, they'll pass it, kick it right back out, and rotate it to the other side, the Kyrie, and do the same thing over again. And
I feel like, I'm sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was saying, I feel like you should do that after like your original like play breaks down. You know, so that shouldn't be
Yeah,
like your go to.
Nah, it's like yeah, but you're absolutely right. But that's the offense.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's that
yeah.
offense. Like, but yeah, even Michael Jordan when they got in the triangle, if that was a game where they needed Mike to put his cape on,
Hmm.
then but Mike was so good where he could play in the triangle and get his points. And then when Phil gave him the look like, hey man, it's a tie game. We need you to bring it home. It's fourth quarter with 4 minutes left. Then they can go to that. They can go to that
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
ISO ball or give it to Mike. Get out of my way. You can go to that in the fourth quarter or when you need a basket in a crucial point in the game. All right, let's just let Mike get out of Mike's way. Let Mike go get a point. He might need to do it for 2 straight minutes to go on a run, and then they go back to
Hmm.
the triangle because the triangle is for the other players. The
Yes.
triangle,
Involvement.
Yes.
the
Yes.
triangle helps them get easy points, and the triangle also allowed Scottie Pippen to use his superpower. So Scottie was playing his A game at the same time while Michael Jordan was playing his A game,
Hmm.
right? But the way LeBron and Luka and Harden and Westbrook was doing it is they were the only one playing their A game, and everyone else was just sitting waiting for a pass.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that kind of style of offense can also affect the defense too, because you don't really feel involved on offense to where,
Correct.
you know what I'm saying, you're not really going to
Yep.
do that. But whereas you have like a motion offense where everybody's touching, you feel involved, everybody's energy is kind of picking up together.
Yep.
Um, and
Yep.
I don't know why, like, well, I guess, but I mean, the Warriors do it, but I guess the only thing people really pick up from that is just the jack up threes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do their system of basketball is a system that in theory was never supposed to work, right? And that's just that we're gonna jack up 50 million threes.
Who
And
Golden State?
Oh, no, no, no,
but
I
yeah,
disagree about that. Okay, go ahead.
I
No,
don't.
no, that's not their offense though.
That's not their offense now, but their
It's never
offense in
it's
the past, they shot a lot of threes, man. a
Oh
lot.
no,
Are
that
you talking about
you
when
thinking
Steve Kerr first took over, or Mark
nah,
Yeah,
Jackson?
you
no,
thinking
Steve
about
Kerr
Houston
took over.
Rockets with James Harden. They shot a lot of threes, or Phoenix
No,
with
now
Steve
that
Nash.
but that's what I was going to say. The league kind of adopted that system, and it is now it's just out of control. Now it's
Yeah.
just like you step at half court and shoot a three.
So the league
I,
looked at Golden State shooting threes, and they thought that
Yes,
they could duplicate it. But the secret about Golden State is that's an equal opportunity offense where all 5 men on the court can
it's
make
what
a play
happens
for
when you
somebody.
got. That's what happens when you draft a bunch of shooters.
Yeah,
yo,
but
and then the
they
thing,
only had 2 shooters though.
Uh,
It was only Steph and Clay.
Steph
Draymond wasn't a
Curry,
shooter.
he
Andrew
was
Bogut
shooting
wasn't a
every
DeMar's,
now
shooter.
and then.
D'Angelo
Uh,
Russell, and all of them.
yeah, they
They
wasn't
both
shooters like that.
then,
They could hit,
but
but
then once the league picked up on that, they went and got another shooter.
yeah. So the thing about it, see, this is why I got to give Steve Kerr credit, because like that motion in there is very similar. It has like elements to Greg Popovich and Phil
Yep,
Jackson, and he added
yep,
like his own sauce into it.
Well, yeah,
yep,
So
because he played for both of them.
yeah, that's what I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He took like both of those and then like added his sauce to it, and then
yeah.
it was like right out the gate you can tell, because when they was playing for Mark Jackson, and I respect the man a lot for what he did. It was a little bit too much ISO going on. But when Steve
yeah,
Kerr got there, you started seeing the ball moving a lot.
yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying?
That's true. Lost
And
Art said if the Nets were winning and had a 5-2 record, no one would be talking about what's going on with Kyrie. I
Yes, they
believe
would
others
because he'd
saying
be
that.
yes, they
suspended.
would.
Yeah, I think.
I,
Yeah. I mean, they serious about anti-Semitism, man. Like, I mean, this. It don't matter. They could have been 82-0. They still would. And plus, that was Kyrie too. Yeah. There was no way around that. He wasn't. He wasn't going to escape that.
he's the irritant, man. They gotta expose the irritant.
Come on, Brent. Mavs didn't get lucky. It's the Dallas Mavericks, baby.
It's Luca. He the new guy they pushing.
Yeah,
Nah, I think the Bucks still undefeated, man.
yeah.
Yep. Uh, hey man. Hey, this the thing, Spav. Man, I haven't recorded in 30 minutes, yo. I mean, not 30 minutes, but 30 days, plus over 30 days. But
Mhm.
I gotta continue to go in and put content out so I can build this channel.
Mhm.
I got my little setup back, so I think I'm gonna be going more because we was only doing it once a week before. I think I'm
Hmm.
gonna
Mhm.
go. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to go about 3 times a week.
Yeah,
Um,
especially now, man. It's the
yeah,
perfect time, because with all the
I'm
stuff
with you.
going on, like you gotta. This
yeah,
is
for
your
sure.
time. You might turn around and get somewhere around like 50,000 subscribers by the end of the season, maybe
Yeah,
more, with all the drama and stuff going on.
yeah, that's for
And
sure. Yep. So I
no,
got to get it
this,
in, but
this
I'm gonna shut it down tonight, man. I got homework, man, and shoot this. Hey man, I kind of gotta go pray for Kyrie, man, because I hope they don't kick that dude out of the league, man. This is
yeah,
You
he's
about
crazy.
to
about to
get,
be the
bro. You
he's about to
about
be
to
a
get kicked
Sharif
out.
Abdul Rauf. That's remember how
Yeah,
they blackballed. This is coming. It's
yeah.
coming.
I think it is, man. And I think the groundwork is already laid out for it. They just letting him play out this last year on his contract. I
Yeah.
don't see any owner
Hmm.
offering him a max this
Yeah.
summer. It is a possibility that some team might, give him like a 2-year deal, maybe. I don't know, but
Bro,
the max is out of the question.
he has
Yeah.
officially been Kaepernicked.
Yeah.
Brent laughing at me because I got homework.
The narrative. Man. Hey, quick question. Have
Yeah,
you, or do you ever plan in the future to do, like, we have the game going on, and then having like this right here where we can just commentate and talk about the game while it's playing, or not? So,
man. Heck yeah, I do it. If it's man, what if it's gonna be an audience for it? If y'all want to do something, man, y'all just suggest it, man. Hit my DMs or if y'all already subscribe to the YouTube channel, y'all can go in the community tab and post some stuff in there, man. Y'all, if y'all want to request something, I do it, man. It don't matter. We'll watch a game and we'll commentate on it. Easy day.
yeah,
Easy
for
day.
sure.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. I'm always gonna show my support, man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it.
Trying to.
Definitely appreciate that super chat today too. Hey Brent, you ain't hit that cash app or that super chat, man. Brent, hey Brent, hey, Hey Brent, you gotta hit that cash out, that super chat, man. Everybody else too, man. Hey, look, if you ain't gonna hit the cash app, at least hit the thumbs up, hit a like, because ain't nobody hit the thumbs up yet, right? That I mean that does help the YouTube other algorithm. So hit the thumbs up at least if y'all gonna go hit that super chat.
Well,
Um,
if the video does get out, they coming after my channel next for making my quote unquote anti-Semitic comments for asking the questions. I'm done, son.
hey, you think we in trouble? Oh.
Oh man, they're gonna
No,
be like, "Oh,
I
you
think
had
we
some
never.
guy named."
I think we navigated it pretty. I think we navigated it pretty good, man. I don't think we said nothing crazy,
No,
man. I think we'll
mm-mm.
be good.
No,
I
son, we
think we'll be
done.
good, man.
You can't ask the question, man.
You
You're not
might
even
be
supposed
right.
to ask.
Man,
We're
I tried
done.
to be politically correct and say everything the right way. You know what I mean? I tried to say, look, man, according to this book, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's my views, man, but according to that book, that's how that happened, man. But it is what it is. But man, hey, look, man, I appreciate y'all, man, being up in here, man.
all
I'm
right,
about
man.
to I think Brooklyn play tomorrow night. Kyrie won't be there, but so I'll probably go live. I'll probably go live after that game, and we'll see.
His suspension is indefinite, or is it?
It said
Five
at
games.
least 5 games, right? So
Okay.
I guess that meant 5 games, and then if he'll apologize and he'll come back on his knees, then we'll let him come back after 5 games. But the 5 games is automatic.
Mm. Yeah, man. Bring Kyrie on the show next time. I want to hear what he got to say.
I'm gonna try. It's crazy, man. I got a friend who is dating a girl that's Rod Strickland's first cousin. So I probably could swing Rod Strickland or Kyrie, because Rod Strickland is like his dad's best friend. So
Yeah,
they call him his uncle, man. So who knows, man? Maybe one day I might be able to get Kyrie Irving on here.
yeah. Bring him up here, man. I want
At least he could
to
what you
have
call it.
him.
At least he could set the record straight.
Yeah, just say what you got to say to get off your chest. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here to antagonize you and try to bully you into no apology.
Yeah. Hey man, but he one of my favorite players, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Oh,
Kyrie, KD,
Kyrie is a baller.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, Kyrie, KD. Shoot, I like Kawhi. I like Paul George.
Mm.
Like, it's what I
Dak
mean?
Prescott.
Boy, you crazy. I
Just
really
saying.
apologize. Just not the
Oh,
way the
dang.
media wanted to. That's true. I'm still
Yeah.
reading Brent stuff, and Brent still ain't hit that cash out, man. I ain't reading Brent stuff no more.
Oh, man.
Bring
Brent,
it.
hey Brent, you gotta hit that super chat, baby. You got to. You got to,
Free,
man.
free
Brent,
advertisement.
as a matter of fact, Brent, man, here go the link before I get up out of here. Come on, let me see your face, man. On
Hey,
here. Here go the link right there.
did, hey, you watch UFC?
A
I
little
do.
bit.
Do you remember when Conor McGregor got the his second title, and he was like, "I just want to apologize from the bottom of my heart to absolutely nobody."
Yeah,
I want to see
Yeah,
Kyrie
yeah,
do something like that, yo.
yeah,
yeah. That
I
was
want to
yeah,
funny,
see him
man.
do that.
yeah.
That was
Kyrie,
funny.
that's what you needed. Kanye needed to do the same. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, you need to do the same thing. All these other
Yeah.
people,
But
yeah,
he
just
gonna say
apologize
something
in
like,
front of
"I
them.
apologize to absolutely nobody except for
Yeah,
Kim, baby. I apologize."
Hey Corey,
that's
is
his
that good enough
kryptonite
right
right
now?
there.
What's
Is
that?
that good? What Brent just
What you
said, is that
talking
good
about?
enough?
Subscribe and like. Okay, Brent, you get it. Okay, a little bit of love. Next time you come on here though, you gotta donate something. Buy us a Coke. You know what I'm saying? $1, something.
Hold on. Do I know Aaron Bridges, Oscar, Kobe, Larry Legend, KG, and Wilt or Hakeem? What are you saying? This is your top five? Oh, most
No.
skilled per position. You
Yeah.
think you,
Oh
you
wait,
think
I want to see
Oscar
that
is the
list again.
most skilled at point?
Oscar. Oh man, Larry, KG. Yeah, I think Kevin Durant's a little bit more skilled than Larry.
Yeah, but I'll put Larry.
So he's saying that Kobe is more skilled than Mike.
Uh,
Uh,
skill. I think Kobe's footwork is better. You think so?
maybe, but Mike,
But Mike was more efficient.
Mike was Mike was in Kobe is probably the closest thing we've seen to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But as far as being like Mike was a better shooter, Mike was a better scorer,
Mm-hmm.
Mike was better from the free throw line. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I think
Like you can't
largely
say
of
he's
that.
more skilled. I get okay. Power forward, Larry Bird. I mean, excuse me, power forward, Kevin Garnett. I mean, how can you put Kevin Garnett over Tim Duncan?
Do you think Kevin Garnett is more skilled than Dirk Nowitzki?
I think he was more athletic.
Yeah, he definitely was, and his defense was better.
Yeah, he was more athletic, and Dirk was known, and I'm from Dallas. I live in Dallas. I'm a Dallas fan, and I
Mm.
love Dirk, but Dirk was a disappearing act on defense.
Oh yeah,
But I
Hakeem. There's
mean,
no. Sorry.
Tim Duncan did everything.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Hakeem
Hakeem, he was.
Olajuwon, Hakeem
There's no
Olajuwon.
dispute,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
Yeah, there's no dispute.
Hakeem was super skilled, but Oscar. I mean,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
you
about
gonna
say
say Oscar
Oscar.
was more skilled than Magic? You gonna
Yeah,
say Oscar was more skilled than Steph Curry? Mm, I don't know about that.
mm, nah, you couldn't say that. I think Steph Curry pretty much is more skilled than Oscar in every aspect except for rebounding,
I mean,
right?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
but
his passing might not be as solid as Oscar, but I didn't watch
yeah,
those games. I can look at his numbers.
his passing may not be as solid as Oscar's, but everything else, man, come on.
Yeah,
Magic was just special.
as
He
it
was a
pertains to
special
like,
dude.
I don't have a specific team. I used to be a diehard Laker fan,
Hmm.
but I stopped because like when I was a fan, like I couldn't look at the game objective, man. Like I would be thinking, oh yeah, the Lakers got this one, or I'd be just making up any excuse. Somebody said something about Kobe that was that I perceived was negative, but was actually true. Like I couldn't
Couldn't
see through
separate
it.
it.
Yeah, but like now I can just I don't have a preference for whichever team wins. I just go out there and just watch it. And I stopped watching freaking First Take and all that other stuff because
Yeah,
it's like they
you know, I'm, I can be like that with the Cowboys, but I'm also uh a realist enough to know if they stink up the room, then they just stunk up the room.
mm, I would make an excuse. I'd be like, no, I'm at the refs cheating. I was too into it,
Yeah,
man, but I'm free falling
because
now.
I
Well,
was
who
pretty
who 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 was your squad, Spad?
the Lakers.
Oh, it was the Lakers. But like I said, I can't do that no more, man.
Sorry
I
to
was
hear
too
that.
diehard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
was I was I was the same way. I was a Panthers fan and a Tar Heel fan. I'm from North Carolina, so
Same
um
here, man. Well,
oh, what part?
what part?
Greensboro.
I'm in. That's not too far. Well, I come from a little small county, man, Bertie County. Um, it's nearby. Greenville will be the nearest place. That's big.
Um I played a basketball team from what was it? It was close to Greenville. It was called shoot. Man, I used to never forget that place, man, because the best dude I ever seen in high school. This dude,
So like,
I only know his real name. His name was Tiny. That's the only thing I remember. His name was Tiny, and the rumor, I think he had a scholarship to UNC Charlotte.
mm,
Man, this dude, I've never in person seen somebody this good, man. This dude was
Hmm.
dang, what's the name of this school? Kinston. He
Kingston,
was,
I know.
yeah, it was a team from Kinston. Man, that dude
Yeah.
was bad, man. That dude he was a bad boy. I think they beat us by like 35, man. They killed us, man. But
Dang.
yeah,
You still live in North Carolina?
nah, I'm in Cali right now.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, for real? What part?
I live in Riverside County, and Center Central. It's SoCal.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Um,
I'm in Marietta.
okay, so we in the same county, right? Is that
Yeah,
the same
they're
county?
right down the street.
Oh,
Y'all right down the street
okay.
from
Oh,
each other.
All right, man. So
yeah.
let's do lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. That's crazy. Both from North Carolina.
Yeah, and I here
My
in
God.
Cali. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Yeah, hey, we should. Hey, we got to get up sometime this week, man.
Yeah, man. Just whenever, man. I'm free all weekend.
All right, sound good to
So,
me. Yeah, Corey used to be out here, but he went back to Texas like a little scared, look just scared to come out here and handle all this success and this good weather.
Man,
are
I'm
you
good.
you're probably military or something?
I'm
Yeah,
living.
yeah, yeah. We both retired this year.
I
Hmm.
got 15 years and I'll be there 5 more years.
Sheldon Gordon, what's up, man? Hit me.
What's going on, man?
What's up,
Man
man?
Down podcast. What's going on, fellas?
Shit.
What's good, man? What you got going on? Let me hear what you got to say.
Nah, nah. I'm just here, man. I'm kind of disappointed in the Nets, man, to do my man Kyrie like that, bro.
Yeah.
Give me your real thoughts. Don't troll me. Give me your real
No, no,
thoughts.
no, no. That's my real thought, man. I'm disappointed, man. The small hats people, man. They wilding out, man.
Bruh, is it anything you can say? Like that, like
I might get canceled for that one. They might take my music down
yeah,
now.
like this man didn't even say nothing, bro. He tweeted a movie. He
Yeah,
didn't
we
even say
uh,
nothing, bro. That's
a, re,
crazy.
a, re, a retweet.
And
It's kind of sad that we live in a world we can't even content on social media. You can't even say what you feel. You get taken down. You can't even say certain curse. It just
I
it's just
think
like
it,
where do you go to? Who can you speak to now? You just it's crazy.
everybody want to be snowflakes, man. Like we used to be tougher than this, man. But I mean, come on, man.
there's
Like
certain there's certain individuals that people literally camp out on Twitter for, any social media site and wait on them to do something negative. And Kyrie is one of those people.
yeah, yeah. It's like people
Yes,
looking for
sir.
new ways to be offended. I'm like, dude, man, I mean, just not even 40 years ago in the 70s, I mean, we was working 20-hour days and getting our ass whooped by German shepherds and water hoses while we was
Hmm.
Right.
marching. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Well,
like, dang, man, like, and we had kids walking to school when they was trying to desegregate, getting cussed out and rocks thrown at them by grown people. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And now y'all want to talk to us about tweeting a movie and somebody's feelings is hurt. Like, come on.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think there's too many blame games, but I think it's the people that's on top, man. I don't think it's a whole world like that. We definitely got more sensitive, as a society, but I think the people on top that got extra sensitive, and they basically just it's basically bullying. They're using their power to bully people,
Yeah.
and they try to push narrative. They want you. They want a world that there's only one thought. You only because everybody got to feel the same, and everybody think the same. Your feelings ain't your feelings.
Shut
It's
up.
just scary out of the world we live in.
Shut up. And I agree with you, but I don't think the people at the top got super sensitive. I think it's more they got super petty. Um, you
I
are,
can see that too.
you have all these thought processes against people, against a certain race of people, or people's beliefs, whether their sexual orientation, whatever, right? So
Right.
now, if somebody says something like, and you can twist it any kind of way, you know what I mean? To say, like, okay, well, if you can do that, I can do it too. You know what I mean? Then that's exactly what's gonna happen,
Right.
and they're gonna make it 10 times worse just because they have the power to
Yeah.
do so.
And it's only happening to certain people. When you speak about
It's
the
on, it's
trans,
only it's only certain
the
people.
homosexual, when you speak negative towards the black culture, ain't nothing's happening.
No,
Right.
It's kind
And
of
that,
it's
and
kind
that,
of
and
like
that's what Kanye was saying. He was like, "Look, dude, we support a rap culture that literally go out like Kodak Black got a new song out called Spin. You heard it yet?
Nah, I didn't hear the record.
Okay, so Spin. I'm old, so I'm just learning this stuff. But when you say you about to spin the block, that means you're going to go shoot the block up, right? Spin mean to go
yeah.
go go shoot it up, right?
Hmm.
Right.
And this song is literally like in a chant mode, almost like he's trying to put you in a trance, man. He's saying walk, 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 spin, 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 and he just rapping about uh, shooting somebody.
Right.
And the
It's
song,
low, it's low frequency music. It does things.
exactly,
It is
exactly.
it putting out something in the world. But it's our people listening to it, and we doing it
Mm-hmm.
to ourselves. We doing it to each other.
Yeah,
But one thing I'm gonna say about hip hop is even though we 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 spend so much time talking about the negative, like you got to think about what hip hop does to the community. It's a lot of black kids that's staying out of trouble because of music, because of that same hip hop. So we can't, you know, So it's both ways you can look at it. If you only look at the negative, but it's also positive in hip hop.
yeah, but I'm. You know what? Hey, it's a bunch of people that stand out of trouble because of slavery. I mean,
Right.
it was some kids that no, no, but I'm saying I'm willing to say, hey, like seriously, right now, if I could
That
snap
took
my
it.
fingers,
That took a left turn.
they did no, but if I could snap my fingers and get rid of trill rap and gangster rap and all that stuff, and like if we could come to like another Million Man March and have a conversation and say we're not supporting street rap, trill music, or none of that stuff no more. Right? We go take control. We go have our own record labels. We go sign our own artists, and we go put out the music that we want our youth
Right.
to really hear. Right? And then we don't want them to hear this trill music no more because when you hear about what Kanye was saying, what he was saying is that our Jewish brothers and sisters who the ones who are record execs and own record labels and all this stuff, those guys, not the whole community, just the guys who own record labels and happen to be Jewish. Those guys or girls or whoever they are benefiting by making the money off this trill rap, knowing
Right.
that the trill rap is hurting the community.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what Kanye was saying. And then on top of that, he's saying they even them is a double edged, not even a double edged sword, but is doing a double whammy on us because not only are they hurting the community and making money off of it, they're also raping, not in the literal sense, but raping the artists financially. Like so, it's like I mean, it's so much to it, and I'm like, look, man, I'm with you. I'm ready to break away and whatever the old norm was on how we did record labels and contracts and all that stuff. If we have to
Right.
separate and do our own thing for a while, we can't partnership with nobody if we can't have a good relationship with who we partnership with. And if it happened to be, it don't matter who it is, we just can't do it no more. And that's what Kanye was saying, man.
Yeah, I agree. But I still think it's still entertainment, man. Because if we say we gonna start listening to gangster music, then we should start rating our movies and all the negative things that come on TV. I think we got to learn how to separate entertainment from real life.
Agreed.
Um,
It
no,
just
no, no,
can't. It
but
just can't just pick on the rappers.
well, no, because
It is art.
but see, you saying that because you're an artist though, and but I mean, if the proof is in the pudding, though, Shelton, if you look at the results, because what people always say is that we live in effed up situations, and when we start to create music, we only rapping about what we see. Okay, I think that's a little bit happening, but
Yeah,
more.
real quick. Not to cut you off, but on the same notion, rock music is responsible for a lot of death too, but they don't talk about it. A lot of drug use, a lot of kids getting
Agreed.
overdosed,
Yeah.
but they don't talk about it. So you just can't just we just can't point on just hip hop and say, hey, it's the reason when there's other entities that's doing the same thing.
Oh, absolutely, it's other entities, but rap music is one of them. And the only reason why I'm singling out that is because that's the one Kanye was talking about. He
Right.
he's saying when it comes to our relationship with our record execs and people who do contracts with us, I want to sever ties with them because they're doing bad business practice and they're tricking us out of our money. on top of promoting a certain type of music that's hurting our community.
Right.
Now it extends beyond rap music. It goes
Mhm.
into other stuff. But that's a start.
Well, it's not just. I understand the other guy. What's his name? That called
Sheldon.
in. Yeah, I
Sheldon.
understand his point, but I think more or less is it. What Mel is trying to say is that they really only pushing one type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody else
Exactly.
says,
Hmm.
it has like a nice song that's lyrical and positive, it ain't gonna really get. Very few of them get the notoriety that it should get. But like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You talk about
Brent getting a
Right.
lot of free
So
taking
publicity on
pills
that.
and stuff like.
yeah, so it's not the music, it's the labels we got to stop because you
What?
got.
Well,
I,
yeah,
I,
they pushing the wrong stuff. I mean, a rapper as good as Most Def or Andre 3000 or somebody like that. We can't get an album from them no more because don't nobody want to hear what they got to say because they're not saying spin, spin, spin,
Mm-hmm.
spin. You get what I'm saying?
Or, well, I think if they pushed it as much, then people would. But it's just that it's almost like if you hear a song that you don't like at first, and you keep hearing it. Next, you know, you sing it in your head, then you're like, oh, it's like an acquired taste.
Yeah, but
But
they
if you
won't
keep
push it.
hearing it enough, nah,
It
they won't.
Andre 3000 can't get on the radio no more right now. He
they
can just
won't. They
do
won't
features.
allow it.
Yeah, he can just do features. You get
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
lyrical
And
master
and
too,
and
man.
and we never know what his contract looking like. He probably signed his rights away to his own name. You know what's going on with Layla Ali right now, right?
Nah, nah.
Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, undefeated former heavyweight champ, female, right? She has um clothing, spices. She has all types of things that she's trying to sell and market under her business. However, she's trying to name her business after her name, Layla Ali. However, there is a company that own the rights to her dad's name, Muhammad Ali, who telling her that it's copyright infringement if she used Layla Ali because it sounds too much like Muhammad Ali, and they don't want her name to tap into the sales of her dad's name. You mean to
Mm.
tell me somebody owns, like, if my dad passed and was a great boxer, there's a company that bought his name and likeness? And now,
Yeah.
if that ain't bad enough, you telling me I can't even use my own name, which is not the same as my dad's. I can't use my name because it sounds like his, and that's legit. This is some crazy, like, people buying your name and your likeness. That is crazy. Dave Chappelle saying, "I want to do
Yeah.
Chappelle Show again, but I can't even call it Chappelle Show because Comedy Central owns my name and likeness." This is
Mm.
ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
lost you.
man.
This is ridiculous, man. Hey, Sheldon, what you think about them contracts saying we own your name and your likeness?
Yeah. It, I think it's just a way to show these. This is only certain people who make it out there, man. I think it's kind of a little deeper than we think it is. I think we'll never figure it out, but I think it's kind of sacrificial. I think those people that's on top are meant to put the narrative out, and I think you got to do certain things to look at Tiffany Haddish, right? So as she look at that silly video she came out with, what she did in the
Mm.
past with the kid. Anybody y'all saw that video?
Nah, I ain't see it.
Nah, nah,
I
man.
saw
Yeah,
it.
it was disgusting. As soon as she started talking about Black Lives Matter, they dropped the video on her.
Well, hold on.
It
What was the video?
was like a pedophile. It's like a pedophile type video. They try to like molest a kid. It
But
was
it was
just
a skit.
disgusting.
It was a skit though, right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a skit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That
soon as she started talking, that Black Lives, that they dropped the video. So I think it's just what they signed up for, man.
yeah.
When you want to be,
That's interesting because when Kanye was on the Drink Champs doing an interview, and he said, "I don't care what y'all do, how y'all try to come at me. I don't care if you show that video of me having sex with a goat and all that stuff." I was like, dang.
Yeah, I think that's you gotta give them something for them to give you something.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And a lot of times they say it usually be same sex type of action, and they get that recorded.
kids or
Yeah, and then when you get out of order, they be like, "Hey man, we can release this if you want to play that way." You know what I mean? So yeah,
right.
it's a dirty game out there.
The cold
I think the
world.
new thing is death. I think the rappers are sacrificing death now because it don't make no sense. All these rappers dying.
Man,
Now that you mentioned that, you think they probably got something like that on Shaq and Charles Barkley. That's why they had to say what they said.
I think everybody, Shaq, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all of them.
yeah, it's a lot of ways they do it. Either they're this what it seems like, right? If you start to do something that they don't want you to do, somebody in your family will have something happen to them. And you look at people like
Hmm.
Bill Cosby, Michael Jordan, losing his dad, Bill Cosby losing his son, Jennifer Hudson losing her whole family. You get what I'm saying? Like this stuff is just be weird right when they're ascending to a different level. They lose somebody close to them. Kanye losing his mom, just crazy stuff like that, right? So that I think that's one way. And in another way is let's say if you able to slide under the radar a little bit and none of that stuff happened. Um,
Right.
you end up having something happen like what Kobe had. You get this charge and your life could be over. But
Mm,
Hmm.
also we can get you off on this charge. Right. And I thought it was very weird around the time where Kobe Bryant was going through his case.
mhm.
He all of a sudden popped up in this weird little gown dress like thing. Did y'all ever see that?
No, I
Yeah.
never
Or
seen
what? The
Kobe in
white
a
dress.
dress.
Yeah, the little white dress thing.
Hmm.
Did you
Nah, I
ever
never
see it?
seen it.
Yeah, I saw it.
No, not Kobe.
Yeah, and he had his whole face painted. Like I mean it was just weird, man. I was like, what the heck? But it was around that
I,
same time, and I just don't understand it. Like especially a person like Kobe, I didn't understand. It was just weird, man. I'm about to pull it up right now. Hold
yeah, I
on.
wouldn't. Well, dang, how you about to take my mind? I always looked at Kobe like he would never put on a dress.
Nah, they got him too, bro. They got him too. They got him. But remember, he was facing some prison time for what he did.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Oh man,
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I remember
You
when I
said
was
you
younger. I
said
used
did
to.
you see it, Corey?
I never saw it.
You never saw it.
Mm-mm.
Just weird, man.
What the heck, Kobe?
Very weird.
Isn't that a hijab? Is that what they call it?
It's
Man, I
not.
don't know what that is.
Oh, I don't know, man. He looking like, dang, I don't want to do this. I just want the balls, man.
ain't no telling what happened before the photo shoot.
Man, I don't know.
like who?
That's not even.
Like
That's not. Hmm.
go
Go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I'm saying that doesn't. That's not Kobe at all, yo. None of that is Kobe.
It's not, man. None of that
Hmm.
is Kobe, man.
Look. Remember the photo when Tupac was laying in the shower with the chains on in the milk, or
Tupac?
yeah, it was a photo when he was laying in the shower half naked with the chains on.
No,
That's
I
kind
got.
of
What?
Yo, this stuff ain't that junk crazy, man.
hmm.
Yeah, so we don't know what.
Look at the symbolics. Tupac went to death row. He went to death row and died on death row.
That
Pop Smoke got popped over smoke.
Yeah, it's
he
crazy.
got popped on smoke.
It's-
Is that what he said?
but it's just it's crazy. But
Yo.
not to change the subject. Look at if you pay attention to our last president Trump, right?
Hmm.
He was exposing a lot of these people, and as soon as he started doing that, you had the January 6th riot, riot in the Capitol.
Right.
That was a setup, man. You,
Mm.
I don't know about that.
What,
I don't know about that, man.
what what about this? What
hey,
about this
listen,
though?
man.
What what about this? Not yeah. Take off getting shot as a distraction to get people to pay attention to that instead of what's going on with this.
There's a lot going on. There's a diesel fuel
Right.
shortage going on right now that nobody's talking about.
You said a what shortage?
A diesel fuel.
A diesel fuel shortage is happening. They say by the first week after Thanksgiving, America will run out of diesel fuel. I mean, no truck, no delivery, no food, no nothing. There's also a water crisis that's going on in multiple cities that nobody's talking about.
That's crazy.
This food shortage is coming.
Hey, let it happen because you know what I'm saying I got 100 acres of land with crops in North Carolina. So as soon as
That's what I'm talking about.
California start getting stupid, I'm gonna be like, all right, peace. Go on back.
Smart man.
About it.
Smart man. What you got? What you got on there? You got yams on there?
Right now we got some corn over there. Right now,
Corn.
I leased it out to some farmers. You know what I'm saying they cultivate crops.
Okay.
And stuff.
All right. That's all right. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm fleeing.
But dang,
Right
man.
back over there.
Yeah, this junk crazy, man. What y'all think gonna happen tomorrow morning, man? You know they got to get more content out of this, so you know that's gonna be topic number one on all the shows, man. How you think they go handle it since he apologized?
I don't think Kyrie gonna bounce back from it because I think it's still hanging over their head that he got away with not taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's bothering them too. So they you know not only the people that really want him out, there's other like things that's driving it.
Yeah. And him holding on to this Black Hebrew narrative that's rubbing people the wrong way. He got a lot of enemies, like people in the media, because you know he done called them puppets. You know, the LeBron fans because you know he left LeBron. Jewish people that's in the NBA because of you know the tweet, and then you know the vaxxers, the people who mad at him for the vax. He just got a lot of people that's against him right now. Important people too. Important people.
When that tweet first came out, it wasn't like Adam Silver and the commissioner was even down his throat like that. It was almost like it was like a
Adam
lynch media
Silver was the
mob that
first was the first big name person to say something about it.
No,
was it.
it was the next owner. It was Josiah.
Oh yeah. The owner, and then Adam Silver kind of followed suit. That's I had it mixed up back.
But I'm speaking as far as like disciplinary action. Like it was almost like it was pushed for like the media's created like a lynch mob.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
to make something happen to him. Like you know, like we
Yeah,
keep talking about
absolutely.
Charles Barkley and the Shaq. It's like this. It's like, dang, you want this man to get suspended? Like, I think you need to see. Listen. So first of all, I'm like, yo, chill, son.
Hey, Charles Barkley speaking from a place of hate and a place of fat, and that's a bad combination, man. Bad combo.
Man.
Hey man, I tried
That's
to end
it.
the stream an hour ago, man. I gotta go, y'all.
All right, man. All right.
Hey man, I
I'll
catch
sit
y'all
up here
on
and
the
talk
next one,
on it.
man. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, man.
no doubt. All right.
All right, peace. Yep.
No doubt.
All right, peace.